Alrighty, welcome back to Silent Gambit session
25.
20. Is it 25?
I have
I
a
think
set.
so.
Yeah, 24. Okay, yeah, okay. I forget every time.
Was I right? I didn't even have my notes up yet.
My stream says 23, so
Oh, it is 23.
there is 0.5s, I believe, in places.
Okay.
Session shoot me in the
Yes, we do.
face. That's what session is.
What did you say, Carm?
I said it's session shoot me in the face. That's what session it is.
Okay. Well,
Understandable.
you may get your chance today.
Have fun.
Wait a minute. I don't like where this is going.
No. Tonight's session, I'm going to be upfront, is going to be a chill, relaxing RP session. I don't really have a bunch of maps stockpiled. It's gonna mostly be a theater of the mind kind of night. So hopefully it's a nice break before you start moving again. Is everyone settled in?
Just about.
Yeah.
Rune?
Huh? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
None of the pizza.
Are you fuck?
His drink.
Did you ask if he's fuck?
Yeah.
As you
What
do.
What does that even mean?
That's exactly what it means, gamer.
Motherfucker, that doesn't answer my question!
Good!
Listen, I wouldn't expect a Pizza Tower 101%er to understand.
You know what? Fuck you.
You didn't have to do that, so
Bro, I worked so long on that. I've been fucking with that shit for like the past year and a half. Getting good at a game that I can't even speedrun because the fucking speedrunning scene is way too developed at this point.
Like Ocarina of Time speedrunning.
Right!
Don't.
simply
I'm like stupidly good at Pizza Tower. It's kind of scary. But I won't get into
Pizza
speedrunning
Tower.
because it's too fucking developed.
sounds like you just need to get good, man. I don't know what to tell you.
sounds
I
like
did get good!
Sounds like it's a skishu, my guy.
A skishu? Do you need a tissue for your skishu?
I got good, but get gooder.
Get good ass, if you will.
Getting good now.
Oh no.
Alright, as far as recap goes, does anyone want to volunteer, or shall I volunteer?
Alright, so I guess I'll share the ballroom event list. We lured the bug into the ballroom and followed through with Byron's plan. Lured the bug over to the middle of the dance floor, and we dropped that disco ball like it's 1970.
Oh.
Shattered the prime matriarch's outer shell, and then beat it into submission. I forget who got the final blow, but it was awesome. The thing died. It exploded everywhere. I need somebody else to take over for what happened elsewhere in the mansion.
Shit. So my hunch was right about Hatham and him getting caught up by the jester. And so after sucking the guy, I got inside the building and sucked two other forces that were two other guys that were in a room of guys who were being infested or infected by the parasites. Went downstairs and there was Hatham getting strangled by the jester, and so with a bunch of crits, I managed to start strangling the jester. He has a newfound kink. I hope. And
You
then, yes. Anyway, so then I met up with the mayor, and I got her out, and then the rest is up to Karn.
Shit. I don't fucking know, dude. The dog went in the bag.
Him and the bag man are having tea, you know.
Yeah, and Alice, with the help of Jin, got the key thing away from the jester. And then proceeded to set the guardhouse on fire.
Yeah, you left me in there.
Ma'am, I already apologized for that. I'm not doing it again.
I know it is. Like, how do you even know I'd be able to get out?
Well, you got out, didn't you? That's
Yeah.
amazing. The wonders Jin is capable of.
Sheer luck.
And then what else? I'll say and Hatham kind of booked it towards the fucking ballroom fight, and then Hatham was like, hey, you know what, we'll make this faster, and pulled out a fucking scroll of dimension door, which I think is really funny because I was ending up counting on that initially whenever I was thinking about the plan dealing with the jester and them. And they helped kill the bug. Yep.
Actually, the bug was dead by the time it hit your guys' turn, I'm pretty sure.
No,
Yeah.
I did damage.
Yeah, she did do damage.
Oh, right.
Now, granted, I dealt damage and then it was killed before it got back around to our turns. But I did assist. I did deal damage.
I forgot.
I
think that's because it happened on Monday, and
Yeah.
I was still half asleep for the whole session.
Yeah. It feels like it's been a lifetime since then. Because Slice started talking and I was like, wait, really? This was the Monday session. This happened this past Monday. And I was like, yeah, no, that happened. I'm like, it doesn't feel like it happened on Monday.
It was only 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Normally I can remember stuff that happens during session, but the only thing I really remember right now is everything that happened on Sunday.
Well, I remember Rune doing a whole lot of baiting.
Yeah.
Trying to make herself look as delicious as possible to this bug.
And then regretting it afterwards.
Never again.
I do remember after we killed the bug, first and foremost, Jin was fucking booking it back. And by the time she got there and it got around to her turn, the bug was dead. And ultimately, Byron ended up buying out Hatham's contract. So now Hatham is an employee of Byron rather than whoever the fuck was his boss before.
Yep.
We recruited Hatham.
It was a 200,000 gold buyout.
That man is not cheap, but he knows his worth.
Now, whether or not that has any unforeseen consequences, we'll just have to find out.
On who, your wallet?
Don't we technically have what's her bucket too?
Lahim.
Blaheen?
Yeah, her.
Did we pay her?
I mean, I think Blaheen was actually going to join us because she didn't want to be in the Coliseum anymore.
There's also the Moon Lady connection, if I'm not mistaken.
To Blaheen? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know, dude. My brain hasn't worked today. I haven't had my medicine. It's too
exactly
late in the
why
day
the
to take
session's
it.
going to be chilled today. So, from Monday's session, a week has passed.
Yeah.
You guys went and did whatever. In the meantime,
What day are we starting on so I can put it down in my
so we are
notes?
currently on the 27th, the next Friday of, Fire Day of Firemoot. Coincidentally, 2 days before Resteve's birthday. But you guys don't know about him.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
For his
That's
birthday,
not what that means.
Garrett lets him leave
No.
one last time.
Happy Canal Escape Day.
Feliz Dad.
Feliz cumpleaños. Feliz Navidades. Merry Christmas.
I know that's what it is. I was saying it intentionally.
Philly's birthday.
Merry
Feliz
Chrysler.
these nuts.
With the Felice a new car. So, if you all recall, you were told to meet Byron at the wharf in a week's time to discuss things
War.
about what to do next.
War.
So I'm gonna pop y'all in the city,
Warg.
shut this music off, put some music on. What do you mean, no results? It's right there.
I see it.
Nope, that's not real.
Simply.
Why does Jockey have a new issue every time?
Yeah.
What if I just did that? Oh. Okay. I see how it is. It didn't like that it was a link that had seconds in it. Oh well. So y'all are in the city. Wait. This isn't the right city. Where the fuck is Inigo? There's Inigo.
I'm gonna say this place I don't think is
Say,
right.
what is this? I don't remember
I
this.
remember buying weed
That's
behind that
Freya.
building. Like
Oh, yes, you guys had all these notes. That's done and gone now, so I'm going to clear the text.
We need to go visit Chonkamus.
You guys do need to visit Chonkamus. He's been holed up in those stables for a week and nobody's checked on him.
Listen, we've been a little busy.
By the end of the campaign, he's just going to be the size of a building.
He will,
Yeah.
he will be
Although
to
you
you.
to assume he won't be the size of an ego.
Inigo.
He'll just be the size of Eden, find a way to launch himself into space, and then he'll just orbit the planet as the new moon.
You guys will have your own horse kaiju. Congratulations.
my horse
It's a
turned
horse
into the moon.
eclipse.
You know what? I wanna go check on Chonkamus.
It is about 9 o'clock in the morning when you guys are hitting the town. Notably, Blaheen is with you, but Hatham is not. He didn't appear to be in the inn when you guys woke up.
I mean, that's fine, probably. Maybe, I guess.
So you guys are gonna go. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on Chonkamus.
Just you, or is everybody coming?
Who's going?
I'll go.
I'll go say hi to Chonkamus.
I'll go say hi to Chonky.
I'm gonna hang back because I've got like Garg to attend to at times too. So
Okay. We're gonna go check. The rest of us are gonna check on Chonkamus. Jin's gonna go to Garg.
Okay. When you guys go over to the stables outside the city gate where you guys left Chonkamus, you see, suspiciously, that Chonkamus is not around. Attending one of the stables, sweeping, appears to be a stable hand.
Excuse me.
Eh,
Eh.
Eh.
We had a very large horse here. Do you know where he went?
Oh, that thing. Yeah, it's over there. And he's gonna point to this like it's a separate building off to the side from the stables. Um, almost looks like a shed.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. I'm gonna go to the shed.
So
I'm gonna peek in.
you look inside the shed, and inside you almost can't tell at first, but as you glance further into the room, you see the shape of an even more abnormally large horse, bigger than you remember him,
Oh.
uh, sitting in the shed. And uh, his head kind of wraps around and peeks around the door to look at you. And he just kind of huffs.
Hello, Chonkamus.
Huff.
I'm gonna pull out an apple and give it to him.
He is going. So you know how horses have those like flappy lips.
Yeah.
He's gonna just open his lips and just wrap them around the apple and just
Oh,
pull it into his mouth and
yeah,
start munching.
great.
Why is it that every time we see Chonkamus, he's notably larger?
He's a growing boy.
I think that's a question we need to pose to Byron. After all, he is the one that presented us with this carriage and horse, is he not?
Would Byron even know?
I don't know.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like Chonkamus. He's a good boy, but it's a little weird.
Well, we're to meet Byron at the wharf when again? When did he say?
About noontime.
About noontime. We'll have to I'll have to ask him. I'm not sure that he'll quite grasp what we're referring to.
Perhaps
Mm,
I'll understand if we show him Chonkamus.
Well, we can't exactly bring Chonkamus in. I think he's nearing to be too large to get through the gates.
Well, we could bring
Huff.
Byron to
Huff.
Chonkamus.
He's hopping at me. I'm moving away from Chonkamus.
Slytherin's gonna step on up, and he's gonna take out a small little cup that he's just had in his bag. And he's going to pour out an entire, like, large serving size of nuts,
Mm.
and then cup it in his hands and offer it up to Chonk.
He eyes the nuts and kind of looks at you, and back at your hands, and
He looked
he'll
at me.
crane his neck over to your hands and just open his mouth and take the whole pile out of your hands. And he
And then I'll.
leaves just a very thin layer of slobber on your
Yep.
gloves. And
Alright.
you hear him munching.
I'm gonna reach up and pet his nose.
He looks
He's
content.
so large.
For size reference, Lazarus, your hand covers maybe about 40% of his nose.
That's a big boy!
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who has IRL horses to compare it to, yeah, that's a big boy.
What? Where do you have IRL horses?
My grandmother in Tennessee?
You
She
calling your
owns a
grandmother a
ranch and she
horse?
has 4. Yes, I am. But she has 4 horses and she owns about, I think, 10 acres?
Hmm. Well, alright, well, we saw the state of Chonkamus. He's still getting larger. Disconcertingly so. Does anybody else need to accomplish anything else today?
I don't think so.
You know, I'll be back. Lezerin is going to leave.
Bye.
He's gonna find
Chonkamus
the nearest
kind of
shop.
whinnies at you.
Don't worry, I'll be back. He's gonna find the nearest shop. Hey, hey, Jacob.
hmm
How much is a level 1 spell scroll?
Like 500, I believe.
500? That doesn't sound
It's
right.
either 500 or 250.
I thought it was 150.
Hold on.
I mean, sane item says it's 60.
Oh,
Shit,
60.
does it?
Mhm.
So knock 30% off of it, and it's 40 gold.
I just happened to have it open because I was debating about whether or not to buy some things.
Same.
Yeah, alright. I'll purchase the level 1
Yeah,
spell scroll.
go for it.
Actually, I'm gonna buy 2.
What scrolls are you buying?
You'll find out in a minute.
Well, I'm willing to bet one of them is speak with animals.
Shut up.
Damn, crazy.
I didn't know you could just move the numbers to a different... That's weird. If you have the entirety of your gold selected, you can just drag it to a different chat box.
The
Really?
fuck?
Yeah.
What? Give me a minute. Where's Hayden?
You can do that with links. Highlight the link and drag it over to Discord, and you can post it.
Well,
Uh,
right, but that's like an inherent HTML feature.
yeah, but
Isn't
This is like a
I
Roll
accidentally
20 like built on HTML? Like, I'm not crazy there, am I?
dragged my gold pieces
well,
over to silver pieces. So
you're right. It is a website, but like functionally inside, I think he means it's like doing something different than just taking a number and pasting it. Unless that's exactly what you mean.
all right. So I'm gonna come back to Chonkamas. And I'll pull up my Speak with Animal scrolls. I haven't cast it. I'm gonna look up at the big guy. Hello, Chonkamas.
He he kind of looks down at you and he huffs, and you hear, "Is this one back with nuts?"
I can get you some more nuts if you would like them.
His head kind of lurches back a little bit in surprise as you have shown that you understand now what he's saying. And he says, "This one can speak?"
Briefly, but yes.
I see. What is it you wish to speak to me?
Um, Nothing in particular. Just checking in, see how you're doing, and if there's anything we can get you.
I require nourishment.
Nourishment. Okay. What are some of your favorite foods?
The palate is not picky. It
Understood.
simply yearns for nourishment.
Yearns.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
we're about
guess
to have a full blown kaiju on our hands.
I will be right back then. I will leave. Go find an animal surplus store and buy an entire bucket of oats and nuts.
All right. That'll run you 10 gold.
Alright, that's fine. And then I'll come back. Hopefully it hasn't been 10 minutes. And I will set the pail down in front of him. Here are some more nuts. Eat to your heart's content.
This one is grateful. And he'll bend down and wrap his mouth around the bucket, and then holding it in his mouth will tilt his head back as
Yep.
he does it like a shot. And as he eats, Lesrin, you can't help but notice just a shift in his aura. It's a conflicting color between gold and black.
Black. I mean, yeah. Definitely scary.
He's like,
Horse can
ooh.
pop my head like a grape.
Most horses can.
Yes, I'm aware, but this one is extra good at it. Do you like brushing?
This one is partial to brushing.
Partial. Okay. What sort of activities do you like doing?
This one enjoys pulling the wagon.
Hmm. I suppose we have all devolved into calling you Chonkamus. But what is your name?
Give me 1 second. I have it somewhere. I have to go to my drive.
Agamemnon.
The fact that you came prepared for this is astounding.
Came prepared. He's been prepared for this.
His sole purpose is to pull the. He's another construct like the fucking Warforged. I'm calling
Mhm.
it.
Oh, he's just Philo from Shield Hero.
This one's name is Caporus.
No go people.
Caporus. That is a lovely name. Did you choose that, or were you named by somebody else?
This one was named by another.
Hmm. Okay. Well, thank you for answering my questions. If there's anything else that you require, well, feel free to let us know.
So long as nourishment is supplied, this one will be content.
For now.
I'm going to turn to the rest of the party after neighing and doing all these different horse sounds. So, Chonkamus isn't his real name. His real name is Caporus. And he really likes pulling the wagon and being fed. And will continue to do so for us as long as we give him more food.
Wait a second. Jacob, you said that the day we're on is the 27th of Fire Moot, but the last day I have before the week jump is also the 27th of Fire Moot.
Really?
Yes.
My calendar has it marked as the 27th, and that was adjusted last week.
So unless my notes are fucked
Let me
somewhere,
let me go check my notes. Give me a second because I haven't
but
done the
we
time
we
skip.
we
But
started on the 14th,
give me a second.
and I've been logging days as we hit them, trying to.
Fucking Christ. Oh my god, it's 15 pages.
Yep.
Okay, 19th, session 19, Fire Moot 24. Yeah, I have the 24th is when we did that, and then the 26th was the
Oh,
full
okay. I
moon.
guess my calendar is a week behind.
Yeah.
So you guys are actually on the 4th of Fireween.
Winter is coming.
Oh god.
Actually, you guys are in the middle of summer, so soon it will be fall.
Ooh. The
And
best time of
then
the year.
I also one other thing. What?
What day are we
How
on
much?
now? I'm sorry.
The
The
4th of Firewind.
Yeah, it's a fire day.
Firewing 4th.
Because if
How
the
much
gala
were
was
the?
the 27th, that means it's a week later.
How much did you charge me for the charcoal rations when I originally bought them? Because I would have had to get more during the week-long skip.
Off the top of my head, I believe it was about 50 gold.
Okay. Charcoal rations would have covered 7 days, 2 weeks worth of rations. I would have had a day's worth, which would have only used 6 days. I have. I am not good at math.
Mm.
Keep going. I wanted to throw that out there quick because it popped into my head.
Okay. Are you guys looking to do any more around the stables, or
Not me, no.
No, I'm okay.
The only thing I have to do is disenchant some shit.
I just wanted to come see our growing kaiju.
What a big boy.
All right.
15 because I would have fed them today as well.
Hey,
Okay.
Alice, I think we
Yeah.
should go out and buy more potions.
Ooh.
Uh, I mean, did anybody use potions during that last fight?
I think you used the potion of the one I gave you, the shrink spell or
I-
shrink juice.
Right, that one.
I need another speed, even though I have more speed on me, but I use speed.
Honestly, I don't think I used any health potion. I just kept healing myself.
I need more bombs.
I think I used one, but it was the one that you gave me before we started the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go get more bombs.
As you did.
Alright, I mean, I guess I could at least buy, like, 1 or 2 more invisible potions.
All right. While you guys do shopping stuff, I'm gonna switch over to Jin.
Yep. Heard about it.
Jin, you're going over to see Garg, right?
Yep, what's going on at the barracks? How are they
So at
doing?
the barracks, since it's early morning, all the soldiers are out, and they are doing Uh, I guess typical drill stuff. You know,
Mhm.
exercising, doing
PT.
laps around the compound.
Yeah.
PT. Yeah.
Okay. I want to first before approaching guard, I would like to go up to like captain's area, I suppose, or some sort of reception type location.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody there?
Yes.
Okay. I will approach the desk or counter. I'm like, hey, can I talk to somebody in charge?
Oh, well, it depends who you're looking for, dear.
Well, um, it's about a week ago with everything that happened at the I guess the Capitol area, Capitol building of Inigo.
Little court.
Ah, yes, I'd heard about the situation.
Well, I'm just curious, if there's anybody who's being afflicted by what was going on, especially those who were guards over there, if anybody over here may have that affliction.
Far as I know, everyone here has been inspected and they're all clear.
Okay.
Um, the ones that survived, they were sent to the hospital and they were treated.
Oh,
I heard that you had something to do with that.
I didn't have much to do with it, honestly. I was there though. I was just trying to help.
Well, I'm glad somebody was there to help.
Mm. Um, the donations of the farm animals. How's everybody doing on there?
All the cattle have been moved in and situated in the compound. Um, as far as how they're being treated, I'm afraid I'm chained to my desk far too much to know. I'm sure you could go and visit them.
Have you at least had a steak this week from there?
Well, I will admit that the lunch menu has been better as of late.
Okay. Thank you. Um, do you know if possibly perhaps the he's an ogre, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My brain is freezing up. If the ogre Garg is alright, is he doing well?
Oh, Garg, yes, he's a dear. He's doing very well.
That's good. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Alright, I'm gonna skip out of the place and I'm going to go check on Garg and find him.
Okay. So you get to um sort of I guess a recreation yard.
Mm-hmm.
Um and as you're sort of surveying around looking for him, eventually you hear some very loud stomps coming from your right.
I'm gonna spring towards that sound.
You round the corner of a building and you look over and see that Garg is currently on a track running.
I am gushing at Garg. Look at my boy. I'm gonna slowly teeter my way, um, to the probably the lieutenant who would be overseeing all of this, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna kind of like spring myself up. I'll be like, "Hiya!
Hi, can I help you?
Can I see Guard's records?
Uh, I'm afraid I can't just give out that information to
Uh,
anybody.
his PT scores?
He kind of pulls out a clipboard and he goes, "What, you his mom or something?" He kind of looks you up and down.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm the one who got him here. Although you guys did force him to come here. Or well, the guys who were at the gates of the place.
I
Forced him
could
to
hear
come
y'all
here.
motherfuckers from across the room. Jesus.
I'm sorry. So, I'm like his guardian, more or less.
Didn't think a guy like that needed a guardian. But, he'll, scan over the sheet at the PT scores. And if you must know, he's aced the entire physical exam. I mean, look at him. Were you really surprised?
He's a big boy, yes. No, wait. I'm not surprised. He's a big boy.
The written exams, though. I mean, I've seen worse.
Then he should probably go to school. I wonder if I can talk to that headmaster guy.
What headmaster guy?
The headmaster of Madrill.
Madrill? I listen. I don't know if that's the right fit for Garg.
What do you mean?
Well, Madrill, that's for those magic people.
Well, maybe they have like a special place for him. I'm not very good at writing or reading, so I can't be that great of a teacher.
Well, there is a general education program in the city. He could go into that, but as far as his contract goes, we've got him for the next year and a half.
Wait, he signed a contract?
Yeah, you have to sign contracts to get into the military.
What? They made him sign a contract?
Yeah,
Without the
he
guardian.
broke several pencils, but he signed it.
Oh no. Garg! Oh. I wished you all made sure he had a guardian before he signed his life away like that.
I mean, to be honest, we thought he was old enough, but he just kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Well, he gets paid, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Have the meals been better here?
Yeah, since some crazy lady came by and donated a bunch of farm animals.
Smiles widely.
Crazy.
That was you?
Well, I hope so. Is there any way that he'll be able to be funded to go to, you know, those little to go to the general education?
He chews on the end of his little pen he's got. And he says, well, if he can make it through the rest of PT, it's possible, if he wants to do it, he could apply to, I guess have an LOA to pursue education. Although, he only has a certain selection of courses he can attend, since normally we only allow the guys to go take classes for things that they'd be doing here.
Okay. When is PT over?
He flips over a sheet of paper. Slated for 2 months from now.
No, I mean like when is it over today? What time?
They'll be wrapped up by about 2 o'clock today.
Well, I'm gonna wait here till it's
God.
over.
They'll be stopping for lunch, so you can see them then.
Okay. Alright, then I'll come back at lunch. And, I guess that'll be it, and I'll come back to talk to Garg.
Alrighty.
Being more of a mom than my own dad.
Ah!
My dad stabbed me and then proceeded to give me a gift, like my real dad, who kicked me out of the house and then proceeded to give me a gift. Thanks,
Damn.
Lezerin.
It's like
Miles.
Jesus Christ, Lesbian, you're giving her PTSD flashbacks.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Listen, man. eh, Eventually it'll make sense.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
today.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, where I'm from, we stab our kids to say I love you.
Hey, she doesn't remember a thing.
In character.
The flesh remembers.
No, it
Don't.
doesn't. She's malleable.
Imagine one cell in my body knows about it and instinctively always draws itself away from Lesrin, and I'm like very confused why.
Well, in the time that Jin is out finding and talking to Garg, uh, Vulcan will sit over on a corner of the street and pull out a foldable table, uh, unfold it, and set it up, along with a bunch of daggers, warhammers, and that sort of weapons, and a little sign, and place it on the table. And the sign says, Vulcan's Traveling Shop. And he will start announcing that he is open.
So, when you do so, initially you don't really get a lot of traction because it's just some short dude with a table in the middle of the street. But eventually, as a bit of time passes, you do get a customer that approaches you. Hey, what's this all about?
Oh, this is my traveling shop. I make these weapons here and I sell them.
Right. Listen, pal, you got a permit for this?
What the hell is a permit?
See, we got laws here in Inigo that people have to have permits to set up shops.
Even if it's a traveling one.
He kind of tilts his head back and forth. Law is a little shaky. Usually, whatever establishment you set up shop on, they need to have notice, but I imagine you didn't get permission for that either.
I gotta be honest, I didn't even know what a permit was. Didn't know I had to do any of that.
Yeah, most people don't. Anyway, what uh, what kind of services do you offer?
Well, I'm a trained blacksmith. I can make you a weapon. I can enchant a weapon. I can make a weapon better. Or, and he's going to point out to all the daggers and the warhammers, a variety of weapons that you'd find in any armory. I could sell you one of these for a cheap price too.
How cheap we talking?
Now you see, the average person charges about 25 gold for this here, and he's gonna pick up a nice fancy looking warhammer. It's got silver in it. And it looks pristine. Ain't a flaw in it. But for you, only 10 gold.
His eyebrows kind of raise. 10 gold, huh?
Aye. Cheap as I can make it, I'm sorry.
His eyes almost kind of narrow at you a little bit. You sure there's nothing wrong with that hammer?
Aye, nothing's wrong with it. Made it yesterday, in fact.
10 gold, you said?
Aye, that'd be the price.
Well, what the hell? My son needs a gift for his birthday.
Aye, a great gift it'll be.
He'll take 10 gold out of his pocket.
Aye, thank you for your business. And do shop at Vulcan next time as well.
Aren't you
And
a traveling merchant? Will I even see
aye,
you again?
Maybe. When we're old and grey, we might share a plane together, and I'll sell you another Warhammer.
Right. Thanks. He will walk away.
First sale. You'll love to see it. And Vulcan will just continue to just make sure everything's nice and make sure everything looks good, but remembering that he needs this thing called a permit, he'll just slide everything back into his bag of holding. Basically, just
You'll
sweep the table.
you'll get a couple more customers before a guard comes over and shoos you away. Um, add like 50 more gold.
Hell yeah. Oh, I can see the gears of enterprising already turning.
You're gonna sit here and make a blacksmithing startup in Byron's town, in his territory.
He gets shares, don't worry.
I mean,
He
yeah,
gets extra discounts.
he is his boss, so like he's the parent company.
Mm-hmm. All right. By the time everything is said and done, it's about 10:30. Uh, where are you guys at now?
I'm looking for a specialty magic shop.
Awesome. Anything in particular you had in mind, or just like general specialty, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, general specialty. I'll see if that place has it first.
Okay. You come across a quaint little hole in the wall type shop called the Rolling Cauldron.
All right.
You step inside and find that the space within is much bigger than the outside,
Ooh,
and extending for a great distance is rows and shelves and tables full of assorted magic items.
very nice. Um, Lestron is also not wearing his fancy mask anymore. He is back to wearing his blank white one.
Okay.
Um, and so he's gonna wander on in. Um, and just gonna look around for anybody.
So eventually you come across a very stuffy looking elf who appears to be attending one of the shelves.
Excuse me.
Hmm. Can I
Do
help you?
you Yes, do you run this establishment?
Run it in a manner of speaking. I'm the manager of the store.
Ah, understood. I'm looking to place a custom order.
He'll pull a little notepad out of his coat pocket. And what is it that you had in mind?
Um, well, according to my catalog, um, I'm looking for the horseshoes of speed.
He will kind of drag you out into the aisle, and he
Uh,
will. What are you saying?
um, well, see, the horse this is meant for is of unusual size, so, um, I doubt, any normal pair will actually fit him.
He just kind of glares at you over his glasses and then proceeds to continue doing what he was doing. And he will make a sort of sweeping motion with his hand, and the shelves and everything that are beside you just kind of like whiz past you as if you guys are traveling, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a completely different section of the store. Um,
Whoa.
and he'll lead you to a set of, I suppose you could call them pegs in a wall, and in front of you are an assortment of different sized horseshoes of speed.
Ah. Lester's gonna check his notes, and start comparing. And then he will pick out hopefully one that is Chonkamus size.
Do you have any exact measurements? We have the sizes of anything between a pygmy pony to a Pegasus.
Yes. I'm going to pass over the paper.
I'll take the paper from you and scan it over. And then he'll hand it back to you and walk over to the shelf. He picks uh about the third largest size.
Third largest. Jesus.
And he is going to
Sure.
hand it out to you. You see
Thank you.
attached to the horseshoe is a little price tag that reads 4,500.
Oh, that's doable. Alright. Yeah, I'll take this.
Will there be anything else for you today, sir?
Nope, that'll be all for me.
Very good. He'll drag you back out into the aisle again and do another swishing motion as you guys end up uh, in front of a cash register.
Alright. And I will go ahead and pay full price.
Alrighty.
You said
Would you like
4,500?
it gift wrapped?
No. I'm gonna be heading over to the stables to immediately put it on the horse.
I see. And he's going to pick it up and kind of just thunk in a bag and hand it to you.
Thank you. It comes in a set of 4, by the way, so that's a pretty heavy thunk.
Hmm.
Um, he'll take it and nod. Thank you. Have a
You're
good rest of
welcome.
your day.
You as well.
Alright. And he will leave, heading back for the stables.
Alright. You arrive back at the stables.
Um, gonna look over at Chunk, um, and pull out the scroll, and cast, Speak with Animals again. Why this spell only lasts 10 minutes, I have no idea. Um, and then it'll just look up at the large horse. Hey, you said you liked pulling the cart, yes?
This one enjoys pulling the cart, yes.
Would you like to pull it faster?
He'll lower his head to kind of meet you at eye level. And how would this one achieve that?
Lezrin is going to pull out one of the horseshoes. See, these are enchanted with a special
I
type of
know what
magic.
they are.
Oh, alright.
And he leans over to kind of sniff them. They seem satisfactory. And he's
Alright.
going to kind of brute force his way out of the stable because the doors are still kind of closed. And he's going to position himself so that you can start putting the horseshoes on.
Alright. Lezrin will spend a while putting those on. Um, Hey Jacob, is there a field nearby that I can take the horse to?
Oh yeah, there
Or
are
like,
loads of fields.
alright. I guess after it's done, I'm gonna lead the horse over to the field. Um, not that the fence will really stop him, but I will close the door after him. Um, and call out to Chunk. Alright, run around, see how they feel.
He'll kind of give a huff and then he'll start with a slow trot and eventually he'll build up speed until he reaches an alarmingly fast speed for a creature his size.
Trampled by a fucking moose.
He rounds the field that you guys are in and eventually makes his way over to you, and the ground is shaking as he approaches. And then he halts almost on a dime and turns himself to face you.
Do you approve?
This one is content with the craftsmanship.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna get you something to eat, and then, I'll lead you back to the stable. And we should be leaving sometime soon, so you can go back to pulling the cart again.
Good.
Alright.
Borf.
I'll subtract another 10 gold for another bucket of oats.
Okay.
Um, and where is our wagon?
The wagon is off to the side in a row of several others.
Alright, I'm gonna buy like 10 pounds of feed. So that's 1,000 gold. Or
Okay.
sorry, it's 100 gold.
Yes.
I can math, I promise. I don't just store them in the back of the carriage.
Alrighty.
And that's about all I can think of.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to achieve before we hit noon?
How are the birds? Out of sheer curiosity.
The birds are growing. They're not minuscule anymore. As you guys have been traveling, they have in fact been growing. They are, however, no less hungry than they were when you got them.
I did already feed them
Hmm.
for the day, but I was just curious.
They are happy, healthy little birds.
I'm gonna have to get cages for them at some point because they're not gonna fit in my shirt forever.
Anyone else?
Trying to think if there's. Can I take a walk around town, roll perception, see if anything's caught my eye?
Sure. Go ahead.
What I roll? I can't see. Oh
So
shit!
you
Fuck.
notice you notice out of the corner of your eye in your peripheral vision that there is
You know what?
a not like I want to say crier, but he's not really a crier. Um,
Like a newspaper boy.
yeah, he's like a paper boy,
Mhm.
and he's handing out uh, little bundles of paper to people passing by.
Okay.
And he's a distance away, so you can't exactly hear what he's saying, but he does appear to be shouting things to the people who are passing by him.
I am going to walk over and what's he got going on?
So as you approach, you begin to hear what he's saying, and he's saying, "Give me one moment. I have to pull up my notes. I had a list."
Mm, Hanson.
Extra, extra. Livestock have gone missing in the Inigo countryside as of late. And he,
Is there any investigation?
are you talking to him?
No, I'm listening. I'm listening first.
Okay. Reported damages appear to exceed the tens of thousands. And he continues to go on. Uh, Guards are investigating but are stumped as to how the corpses are appearing the way they are.
Can I take one of those papers?
Sure.
How much?
It'll be 5 silver.
5. Okay. That is 32 silver left. Okay. All right. I'm gonna run back over to the guards. Are the guards in the guardhouse like the barracks and the guardhouse two separate things, or are they the same?
So, ooh, excuse me. Oh God. Oh, what is happening to me? Um, the guardhouse is sort of like the front-facing portion of the barracks. The barracks itself is like a whole compound that's on the wall of the city.
All right. I'm gonna go back up to the guardhouse. And be like, hey, what's going on with these animals?
So, are you just talking to anyone in particular?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we've been finding some messed up animal corpses in the fields outside the city.
How
Bunch of farmers are pissed off because their livestock keep getting destroyed.
how
Just
are they
absolutely blown up.
blown up?
Well, at least that's the only explanation we got for them. They're all in pieces when we find them.
I'm gonna write that down on the newspaper. Is there anything else? Anything? Because, I'm a part of that group that went to clear out the bugs in that cave. Maybe we might be able to figure this out for you guys.
Well, all the people have noted that it doesn't seem to matter what time of day. They've been finding the corpses at night when they, go to do the last, work. They find them in the morning when they wake up. Sometimes they'll even hear some commotion in their fields and come out to find a sheep just everywhere.
Okay. Is there anybody else I can ask for more information?
You could probably scout around the outskirts where the farms are and
That's gonna wait for the party for.
okay.
And I guess that's it until noon.
Well, you do see that there are other stories on the paper if you'd like to read them.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the stories is about a it's sort of an editorial about a upcoming music group that is currently touring in Entei by the name of Necrogoblicon.
Woo! Yes. Okay.
And you also read about a series of rumors coming out of Janice,
Mhm.
where in Sawcrest, the buildings, a lot of them are just mysteriously falling over.
Oh,
Oh, did Socrates take the Arkstone approach? With no
Or-
mountains, only wood.
Yeah.
Of fucking course, it's gonna do that.
Yeah, the architecture is just crumbling, and with it, the infrastructure.
Well, yeah, all the wood's fucking rotting after they destroyed all the fucking wood there.
There's also a story about Cape Snowbush over in Janice, which is a newer settlement, which seems to be caught in a perpetual windstorm of snow.
Hmm.
Um, there is another story about an alleged haunting in a hollow cape in Betchet.
Okay.
And there's a story out of Lientry about the shifting woods apparently becoming agitated.
When is it not? With fucking
You
fleas
notice a
all over the
common
place.
trend among these articles, and that they're
Cecil,
all written
Cecil,
by a
Cecil,
singular
Cecil,
man
Cecil.
by the name of Cecil Albright.
Ah! Okay. Alright. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Okay. Is there anything else in there?
Uh, on the very last page, you see a a sort of brief mention about the apparent fire that was happening over in Noble Court, which you happen to know of as being the mansion and the bug attack, but strangely, there's no mention about the bugs having appeared at the manor.
Okay, that's fine. Um, okay. That's gonna be it. I'll take it to the party after the Garg stuff.
Okay. All right. So, you guys all reconvene as it is noontime, and you all head over to the wharf. And awaiting you at the wharf right on time with several envelopes in his hands is Byron.
Hi, Byron.
Hello, Jin. How are you?
I'm
Hi,
good.
hi,
Um,
Byron.
hi, Lesrin.
ah, that balls.
Hello, Vulcan.
How are things?
Uh, he kind of shakes his hand side to side. They could be better. Um, who would have thought it's a rather messy ordeal cleaning up an entire city district? But I've remodeled the city once before. I'll do it again.
Understood.
Have you all paid a visit to the mayor yet?
I have not, no.
She'll, I believe she's awake. I haven't checked on her myself, but she's in a private room away. I believe they're trying not to cause too much of a fuss.
I see.
Anyway,
Panic the better.
I'm
There's
glad you
already a
all.
lot that's happened.
What was that, Rune?
I said the less panic the better. There's already been a lot that's happened.
Yes. It appears that nobody seems to be in much of a panic about the events of last week, which is strange, but, well,
Well, apparently all the guards were taken to the doctors to get fixed, and it looks like the papers didn't really write much about what happened.
really.
And I am going to show the paper, but I gotta keep this because there's some things I want to do with everybody later.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna show him the article.
Oh, this is barely any coverage at all. He kind of rubs his temple a little bit.
Maybe they just need to be told what happened, like a micro report. Because
Maybe so.
maybe the royals are just like, hush under wraps. This is embarrassing.
Well, it is entirely possible they're just trying to save face in the wake of a disaster. After all, the mayor that they've been sucking up to for the better part of 3 months now has been an insect.
In their defense, they did look very human.
Yes, even I couldn't have guessed that they'd mastered camouflage.
Would it be easier to not give the full details then? Otherwise, we don't want to like super mass panic, right? I mean, people might already be freaking out over the whole necromancer stuff.
I feel like if the
Yes.
general public knew that those bugs could be people, it would create.
Distress.
I don't want to be here to see what happens.
There'd be an entire witch hunt. Literally
Sudden-
burning people at the stake.
Suddenly, everybody's a bug.
Byron kind of strokes his chin. Yes, I do see a point, not to mention when the mayor has to step back into her position when she's recovered. She'll have a lot on her hands if everything is in hysteria.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We should probably make sure that those royal people don't like try to abuse the situation while she's in this state.
Give me 1 second, sorry. I have to put the music back in. What do you mean no results? We're
What do you
just
mean,
playing.
no?
You were
It does-
just
it-
doing the thing.
It doesn't exist. It's not real.
There we go.
We back.
Okay. Welcome back. You do bring up a good point, Jin.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, oh,
Really?
eh.
I haven't been made aware of who's exactly stepping into the position in the meantime. I'll do what I can on my end. Anyway, I wanted to primarily gather you all here to talk about what exactly is next, as I'm sure you're all wondering. But before I get into that, here are all of your payments. And he's gonna hold out 4 envelopes.
Woo.
And he will hand one to Alice, Rune, Lesrin, and Vulcan.
Listen, we'll take it.
Vulcan will take it and split it.
Turns.
Split it with Rico.
When you open the
Rune will
envelope,
look at her envelope and then to Jin, and then back to her own envelope, and then back to Jin.
Mm,
Jin is
Are-
just smiling.
Are you fired?
no, Rune, she's not fired. Jin and I have a bit of a pre-existing agreement.
Rune will just shrug and go, oh, all right, not my business.
Hey, Byron, you
Sorry,
wanna
just
see
how
some
Rune is like.
super top secret blueprints of my Armada back at home?
need to actually look back on that conversation.
What's in the envelopes?
In the envelopes is a sum of 10,000. Oh, actually, hold on. I gotta retcon that really quick. I said 50%. Okay, so Jin, you will receive an envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is receiving 10,000. Jin, you're receiving 5.
Okay. It is so hard to be Jin and be humble when all of my other characters are super egotistical. So like only fucking Alice and Lezra know what Jin did. Fucking.
I know that it might seem hollow after all that you've been put through here, but I at least hope that it will allow you to prepare for what's to come.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you about something, Byron.
Yes, ask away.
So, while I was in Freya, I went looking around the estate, and I found a rapier.
Hmm.
I would like to go through the official process of actually paying for that.
Byron just kind of blinks at you and looks at the sword and looks at you. And then he shakes his head a little bit. I'm sorry, you
You what?
just found it and took it.
I did. It has been a very useful blade.
And you thought Jin's crimes were egregious?
This man stole from your boyfriend.
At least I had pure intentions with what I did. Damn.
You understand that is a piece of King Amadius's private collection, yes?
I had an inkling, but I know so little about politics of this world that, I saw something that would benefit my new employment. And
Byron
so,
begins to look a little worried and he starts kind of biting his knuckle. Well, I should have listened to Mason when he told me he thought something felt odd about the collection room. He kept pestering me, saying something was missing, but he couldn't figure out what.
Imagine that being the fucking grandmother Luciana's fucking sword that Lizard fucking took the whole heirloom of like all of Vanillity and Anente.
Tell you what. Well, you said it's been of great use,
it
right?
has. It does more damage. Well, it seems to pierce harder against creatures that are extremely large, so
What if you give me back the original, and I will forge a replica? Naturally, I won't be able to emulate the exact magic, as this is a precious Genesian artifact. However, I can get relatively close.
Genesian. What's it doing in Freya then?
Well, it was harvested from a site a long time ago, and, well, when... And he just kind of spaces out for a second. When the heroes occupied the city of Severance. In the years that followed, a lot of things changed. And, well, there were several valuables that were traded around to different museums, and this one ended up in Freya, in the king's private collection.
I see. Well, until the new one is finished, would you mind if I hang on to this one?
I'm afraid I can't let you do that. But I assure you, given, well, a week and a half, 2 weeks perhaps, I will send you the copy.
Understood.
Do you
What would
need
you
a
like?
replacement weapon in the meantime?
I have a basic rapier, but that's about it.
What about the whip?
Yeah, I mean, basic whip too,
Mm.
but he keeps that one private to himself.
Hey, I made that with love.
I know you did. And it is concealed in my 300 belts.
Oh, belt man. The Armani warrior.
He does that shit from Kill la Kill where the dude just starts pulling on his fucking belts and wraps as tight as he fucking can to get stronger.
Yeah. He has a whole, like, magical girl sequence where it just, like, wraps around him.
It's my morning ritual when I put on my armor.
His class is drunk dad. He fights with belts. No, sorry. His class is fighter. His archetype is drunken dad.
Or maybe the main class drunken dad, subclass wife beater.
Checks out.
Oh god.
God damn.
So Byron will hold his hands out, awaiting the sword.
Lesren will slowly unsheath the blade, and it is in immaculate condition. Lesren actually took care of this thing really nicely. And he
Despite all the
will
times you
spin it
fucking
around
dropped it.
and offer the hilt.
I do appreciate you taking care of it. Just next time you happen to be perusing through royalty's private collection, do try and assure that your hands are thoroughly unsticky, please.
I will attempt to do so.
He'll take the sword and, well, I know what my afternoon's going to consist of. Putting this back in the collection and making Mason think that nothing was ever missing to begin with, and, well, that'll be the end of that story. Now, I'm sure you all are
Well,
wondering where I'm going to send you off to next. And, well, I'll be honest. We have several options. Naturally, the entity that arose from Matoa hasn't shown his face in Janice. Neither has Arista. There is the option of going to Janice and doing reconnaissance, however, I would likely advise against doing so, considering the potential dangers. There are other things that I think ought be investigated. Uh, During your travels, you said you encountered a pipe. in the underground cave, yes?
No.
Well, I did some surveying of the land, and I believe I have figured out a potential location for where the facility that the pipe came from is located. Naturally, the presence of the Assassin's Guild largely should be absent from Inigo now that we've done our jobs. I'm interested to see what's inside that facility. I have no idea where the entrance is, but I'm sure you all are capable enough to find it.
Not usually.
Also, should you choose to, I do have an errand for you all to run in Whitwatch. If you're unfamiliar with the area, it is due northeast of Inigo, almost up in the mountains, but not quite. There is a urgent matter that I've been made aware of, and I need some envoys to go out and meet with the clerics that are present there. There was also the prospect of having you all meet with a few of the other people who have been involved in this situation in the past. I believe Mr. Graves was one of them. That would require a bit of a field trip out to Southpaw. Um, there is... Well, frankly, I'm not sure what really else there is to do in Southpaw these days. But, should you all decide to travel there, I won't stop you. Information is everything.
Lesran's gonna look at the rest of his party. Well, where should we head to first?
I've been hearing good things about the wristwatch. Josie actually was telling me about it. They have this rare forge, rare metals and everything.
Yeah, Witch Watch is pretty nice. And on our way out, we can go do this thing for all the farmers.
What
Thing?
What thing for the farmers, Jen?
Jin,
Yeah.
the last time you convened with farmers, it didn't end quite well. Please elaborate.
well, they're saying that a bunch of their cattle are being blown up.
Blown up?
We're being
Vulcan
blown
just
up.
gonna look to
For a
Lesrin.
moment, he looks a little pale.
Alright, I am going to show them my notes that I took from, that are written on
Why
the
are you
paper
looking at
in the
me?
article.
Mr. Bomb Man.
And Byron looks at Rune and says, Rune, are you sure you didn't fire that device you found?
No, no, it went straight into the bag of holding until we gave it to you.
I see. Perhaps I need to find a new location to conduct missile tests.
Hey.
So, Jin, you're showing them the paper.
Yeah.
Reading glasses.
Well, I suppose if you'd like to solve the problem while you're here, that would be fine. It'll certainly give you some bonus points with the locals here.
Okay, totally out of character. I think it's gonna be that evil cow. It's absolutely gonna be the evil cow.
He was the first victim.
Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's a Yaoi.
Byron will kind of fan through some notes. Oh. Well, There is. One second. There is also a small errand you could run in Pensula. One of my long-standing acquaintances has requested some assistance, but that could be put on the back burner for now if you all wish.
Wait, I'm sorry, will you repeat that?
He's talking about Pensula. There's an errand that he needs run in Pensula that you guys could do, but it's not urgent.
Well,
Alright.
you said that the errand out towards Whitwatch is urgent, so I think it would be best for us to go there first.
Let me go pull up a map. Give me a second.
You want me to toss you guys onto the world map?
Yeah,
It should
Yeah,
be
please.
east.
thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we are in Inigo.
Oh, so it's north. I thought it was
Yeah.
east.
Northeast.
So it'd be easier to go from Inigo to Osmit to Witchwatch.
And we could
Or,
stop
well,
in
Osmit,
Lakewood for
Lakewood.
supplies if we need it.
Yeah, Inigo, Osmit, Lakewood, Witchwatch. We get to meet all the Cyclops that have been rehabilitated to human society.
They're taxmen now.
Yeah. It's unfortunate their queen is dead. Poor Eveni.
Crazy.
I'm still reeling that I made you cry, man.
You did.
You get pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
That's her kink. Making people cry.
So is that the path you guys are going? Osmit, Lakewood, Whitwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's either that or
Okay.
we go through Hernwald and deal with Mystic. I mean, no, Mystic's not there anymore, so see how Hernwald's doing.
Correct. You can also do that.
I mean,
Is there
Alright,
a
listen.
though,
Do we want to deal with Shadrick, or do we want to deal with Vampire Soy Boys?
vampire
I'd
soy
rather
boys are
deal with
like
That's.
I'd rather deal with
I'm not gonna
Shadrick.
speak on this.
I can vaporize a vampire.
Well,
I can't
no.
vaporize
Okay,
Shadwick.
here's the problem. Even if we go to Mystic Hernwald, we're still gonna have to go to Osmond.
No, we can just cut across to the woods and go to Lakewood.
That is an
Takes-
option, yes.
So long though.
Everywhere is just as probable long. It depends on the roads, honestly.
Right, that's why I was saying is like going towards Osmond.
Yeah, alright, we'll just do Osmond.
Just a warning, the further east out you guys go, the worse the roads get.
Yeah,
Alright, we'll go to
because these
Osmond.
are newer settlements, so
Another
Osmit's
settlement.
been there, but Allegro's new.
Lakewood and
And-
Woodwatch are new.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely going to be a road from Inigo to Osmit, and then Osmit to Lakewood, because Lakewood's been there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just take the main road from Inigo to Osmit.
Our grand path has been chosen.
So, before I set you off, to go do whatever you wish, Okay.
Not you, sorry. Prince is trying to get up on the bed. I'm sorry.
Odie was watching.
Do you all
this.
have... Do you all have any other questions? Or
Why is
Yes.
concerns
Chonkamus
about-
getting bigger?
Yes, that.
Yeah, one thing at a time. I'm sorry, Rune. What did you ask?
It's like,
Why is Chonkamus getting bigger?
I'm sorry, who?
The
It's
horse you gave us with
in
the
the calling the horse
carriage.
you gave us.
He looks blank for a second, and he's like, "Oh, really? He's getting bigger?
He's
Yes.
almost the size of a shed currently.
A shed?
Yes, he was moved from the stables into a shed.
I pulled that horse from Freya's collection.
I think
I-
perhaps it might be best if you were to accompany us out to said stables so that we might show you, because I think that perhaps you might not quite be grasping the size.
Perhaps not. Um, yes, lead the way.
Wonderful.
He's a growing boy.
Yep, to the fucking stables we go.
All right. So you guys make your trek through the city again, back to the outskirts, and you come across the stable again. And the shed is once again closed.
Yeah, Alice is gonna go over and open the door just a bit, so that way Chonkamus can stick his head out again.
So Chonkamus will kind of crane his head and stick out of the shed and just be looming over you all. And Byron just kind of trails his eyes up to meet the horse's face. And he's just like, holy shit.
Just Byron, holy shit!
Some fucking
He's-
horse.
he's-
That beast
I
fucking
swear
horse.
he's been getting bigger since we left Freya.
What have you been feeding him?
Horse
The
stuff?
same
Apples?
thing we
Those are
feed
not-
any other horse.
Are you sure?
I gave him a ration once. That didn't do nothing.
We've been feeding him, I suppose, traditional horse feed. Hay, apples. I think Lestrin has been feeding him some nuts.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is he's not getting fat. He's getting big.
His moss grows.
Lesrin, perception, please.
Is this against a person?
I mean,
It's the horse.
All right,
you were the last person to see him.
29.
Since in the hour from when you guys left the stable and come back, he has in fact gotten even bigger.
Lestrin
Oh.
talked to him last time we were here, I think, right, Lestrin?
Yeah, I did.
The horseshoes still fit though.
Thank God.
Okay, good. That's word I would have to buy multiple pairs as he got bigger.
You spoke to it, and what did it say?
It really likes pulling the cart. It likes all manners of food.
Well, that much is
Um,
clear.
Damn. Call him fat like that.
Just gonna huff.
Just a normal horse.
Are you sure it's a normal horse?
Lesnar,
I
what did you
mean,
say its
You
name
didn't
was
find
again?
anything else strange about it when you were speaking to it?
I mean, it referred to itself as one.
Not even its other name.
I thought you told us it had a name.
Oh, it did.
We've been calling
Um,
it Chonkamus because we don't know, but it told you it has
It's-
an actual name.
its name is Caporus.
I recognize that name.
You do?
Well, not necessarily the name per se. I recognize the language that it comes from.
Sorry. I went to get Cheez-It packets out of my cabinet, right? And it's like I have the front door open to let in some of the cool night air, and Prince was sitting out on the porch, and I can't see him, and it's like I looked away. It's like I looked at the door and he wasn't there. I looked away to get my Cheez-Its out of the cabinet, and I looked back and he was standing there staring at me.
He's just standing there menacingly.
I'm sorry. I needed to share that. Cape Porus was from a language he recognizes. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's that you do? Like,
Oh, yeah.
genuine surprise.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, the name comes from the Celestial language.
Would that imply that
explain.
Chonkamus is a god?
No.
I don't think so. He just kind of looks at Chonkamus. He's gonna pull out his little monocle and put it on. And he's gonna look at the horse. And he will sort of blink and kind of sigh and remove the monocle from his face. I think I understand what the problem is.
And what's that be?
The horse is cursed.
Ah.
The nature of the curse, it's a curse of voracity. It continues to desire copious amounts of food and other such things, and it will continue to do so. As for why he's growing at an exponential rate, I cannot explain.
Jason, can I do a history check to see when he started growing?
Sure. Can you also follow it with a medicine?
Sure.
Okay.
Decent.
So when you say like when he started growing, do you mean on this journey or do you mean like in general?
On this journey, like been growing exponentially, essentially.
So the first time that you guys noticed that he was growing was when you had returned from Madril to Freya.
Hmm.
And then several times since then, you guys have noticed him getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Which, now that I think about it, I need to... There.
Have to increase his size category.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow! Oh my God, Jason! All this time, there's a person in that cart.
Yeah.
I've never seen him until now.
It's fortunate that he blends in.
Man has been driving the thing this whole time.
I didn't. There was a man in the cart this whole time, and I didn't fucking know.
Yeah, that's Bob.
That's Bob.
Bob the cart ghost.
That's almost
Bob
as
and
bad as
Chonk.
Eric. Wonderful. Great. Okay. He's been growing since we got back to Freya from Madril. Okay.
And back then, he was in fact a normal-sized stallion.
That's interesting because, like, we got teleported back to Freya, and then Arno returned to the horse forest at a different time. Because we teleported back, and I made the comment of like, "Oh wait, we left Chonkamus."
Mm-hmm. That is true. That did happen.
Does that mean Arno cursed her fucking horse?
It's entirely possible.
It is entirely possible. You guys can speculate about when Chonkamus got cursed.
Alice is going
Unfortunately, there's no way really to know.
Right. Alice is going to kind of turn to Byron a little bit and scratch the back of her head. It's like, he kind of only started growing after we got back to Freya from Madril, but I don't really know of anything that might have happened in the in-between period. I know Headmaster Arno returned him to Freya for us, but he only really started growing after that.
Are you implying that Archmage Arno cursed the horse?
I mean, it's entirely within the realm of possibilities, though I can't fathom a reason as to why.
I couldn't either. He's normally a very busy man. I
But,
doubt he'd
um,
really take the time out of his day to curse a random horse.
well, it's also possible that it didn't have to be Arno, or sorry, apologies, Headmaster Arno that would have done it. There were a number of, I will politely say, rambunctious children about.
We came across a goblin of sorts that thought he was on fire.
Well,
He informed
yeah,
us later that students had done that to him.
I'd buy that. Naturally, the students at Madril aren't nearly as well behaved as the ones at Graves.
Shots fired.
I would believe that over one of the professors doing such a thing, especially the Archmage. He's a bit of a cloistered fellow anyway, spends most of his time in his little antechamber.
Certainly doesn't look it.
Yes, he does have a bit of an eccentric taste in clothes, doesn't he?
Yes, I was referring to his clothing.
Well,
Well, if I recall correctly, he's built like a brick house.
how do you know that?
Well, during our time in the catacombs, dealing with the thin field, and the thing that came out of him, Headmaster Arno saw fit to doff his the majority of his upper attire. He was walking around shirtless.
He doesn't need a spell book because all his spells are tattooed onto him.
Byron just kind of grimaces at the prospect. Oh, why would you get an entire spellbook tattooed on your skin? Oh, I couldn't imagine.
Does that mean his... Out of character here, does that mean his body is worth more than 100 gold?
He is a walking, talking Necronomicon. You could skin him alive and make a Necronomicon.
Enjoy.
And it would probably work twice as well.
If you have someone to read his spell book, he's got to take off his clothes.
but I'm pretty sure I vividly remember you describing him as like being built like a brick house. Like it's like the jokes where the wizard runs out of spell slots, so he takes off his fucking robes and he's just fucking jacked.
Yes, for how padded the clothes were, underneath, he was in fact absolutely ripped. For no apparent reason.
Just, he thought it would be funny.
Roid rage!
Yeah, legends say it makes the fireball stronger.
It certainly made the haste stronger.
Yeah. And the bless.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious that he has bless as a fucking wizard.
Mm-hmm. Well, accursed knowledge aside, I'm
sorry, accursed knowledge? What about that was accursed knowledge?
well, Archmage Aureus is a respected colleague of mine, and I would rather not spend my time thinking about the images you have inserted into my mind today.
He's gonna go home and think about it all night.
Whether he wants to or not.
Hey, Mason, can you, like, do me a favor, get some tattoos of spells on your body? Specifically, lesser restoration.
Maybe
that'd be cool.
work out a little bit.
Mason does work out.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
He has that sickly physique
Yeah.
where it's like he works out, but he's also addicted to nicotine.
Mhm.
Listen, I oh my god, I forget frequently about the sexualities of characters. So he said accursed knowledge, and I was genuinely confused, and then he kept going, and I'm like, oh right, he's gay. Just like, oh right, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It brings a whole new meaning to, hey baby, I could read you like a book.
Oh my god.
Maybe we could spend the night, have a study session.
No. Oh god, no, just think, Headmaster Arius, perhaps I could use some additional tutelage.
Is there,
You've got the
is there
exam written all
anything I
over
can do
you.
to get an A?
Oh my god. Oh, we've derailed it.
I live for moments like these in session.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure we can work something out. Come to my quarters after class.
Come to the antechamber after class.
You'll have a lot of
This
reading.
isn't
to
the
do.
library, this is the bathtub.
This isn't study.
Why is-
This is anal.
Why is there a tub in the library?
That's the joke. There isn't. Oh.
No, I'm sorry. The funnier thing here is, like, they actually go to the... I forgot the word already. And nothing happens. He's just there shirtless, and they're fucking... And it... Extra credit. Because extra
He's
credit
there-
is tattooed
He's there
all over him.
shirtless and showing off the tattoos. It's like, see, this is the spell for this, that, or the other. And it's like, clearly, if you see...
I just had a horrible thought.
Mm.
I just had a horrible thought. It's almost
Well,
too bad to speak it.
Well, share with the class.
Oh god. For a brief moment, what crossed my mind was that the spell for enlarge and reduce was fucking inscribed on. Oh my god.
So that way he can also service his fairy students as well.
That's not horrible. That's fucking
He's
hilarious.
all inclusive, man.
Oh my god.
Well,
Well, it's best not to read too far into him. I mean, it.
He just has the spell grease written as a tramp stamp.
oh god.
I wish
No.
I knew more about spells in D&D so that I could actually like make stupid quips, but I know fuck all about any of the spells except for like the very few that I've used.
Wonder where
Oh god,
fucking
another horrid thought.
Oh god.
He has fucking spike growth tattooed for his pubes.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I said it was horrid.
What
Um,
about
No, okay, that
unseen
one is
servant?
horrid.
There's unseen servant. That's the important one.
He's unseen. You don't want to know.
Well,
gaseous form tattooed on his ass.
Can we move on?
Yes.
Yep. Well, well, I apologize for the accursed knowledge.
You're forgiven.
I'm not sure what we're going to do about Chonkamus here being cursed. And I'm
Well,
not sure what to do with this accursed knowledge that he speaks, that his name is celestial in origin.
in all honesty, I'm not too well versed in Celestial. There are just some names and sounds that you can identify when a name is from a certain language. If you get the opportunity to speak to him again, perhaps that might be a question you could ask, if he's willing to answer. Otherwise, well, he's still in your service, and from what you have explained, he appears to still want to push the cart around, so he can just keep up the good work, I guess.
Yes, though I worry about our ability to feed him in the future.
Oh, I already took care of that.
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
How did you take care of that exactly?
I bought 10 giant buckets of food. They're currently sitting in the back of the cart.
Oh, hmm. I was more thinking about perhaps seeing if we could find a cleric with remove curse.
Well, if you all
We're going to meet a bunch of clerics, aren't we?
precisely, if you're all going to Witwatch, I'm sure there's someone among their clergy who's able to fix him.
Wonderful. Two birds with one stone, then.
You hear
I should have asked
the
Riven
birds
while I was
in
here. He's back in Southpaw
Rune's
now.
pack just kind of eep.
Wait, say that again?
You hear the birds in Rune's pack go eep.
Rune will check on the birds.
They all look at you, scared that they're going to get stoned.
I understood that. Okay.
What?
We're full of revelations today, apparently.
Can I get some context here? What the fuck does that mean?
The birds knew what LSA said. LSA said, two birds, one stone.
Oh! Oh! God damn it!
They can understand common.
Oh man, I'm disappointed I didn't get that sooner. Fuck.
Why?
Just two birds, one stone.
Oh my god.
Fucking elaborate pun. Just never mind. I'll just sit over here in the corner.
You can explain your elaborate pun in DMs for me. How about that? So we don't derail this further.
No, I think he's in the same boat that I was in, where he
Yeah.
didn't fucking
Oh,
get
okay.
it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alice is going to kind of look over at Rune, since, the birds are chirping. He's like, are your, pets okay there, Rune? They seem a
don't-
bit upset.
I don't think they're very fond of the whole 2 birds, 1 stone thing.
They understood that.
I would assume they've been quiet up until now.
Pretty kitty, hello there.
Meow.
Can I pet you? I'm sorry, I'm standing out here smoking, and there's a cat out here. Hold on, I gotta put Prince away. You go in the house. In the house. Go on. In the house.
So,
Pretty kitty. Oh, no, it ran away.
aw.
Kitty.
Should
No, come back.
Chonkamus continue to grow, please let me know and take measurements. I'd like to see the trend.
Well, I believe Lestrin took measurements earlier, so we'll have a baseline to start with at least.
All right.
I'll
If you're-
pass over the paper since, I'm not really using it.
He will glance at the paper and write down some notes of his own on his own paper and hand it back to you.
Thanks.
If you're all going to Witwatch, there's... The general public is allowed in Witwatch. Many travelers come and go to be blessed by the clerics there. Blaheen, I'm sure you're aware. However, the matter that needs to be attended to there is one that people with normal privileges couldn't exactly have access to. So it will take some time for me to communicate with the clergy to allow you all passage inside their temple. So unfortunately, you won't be able to set out today. However, probably by tomorrow morning you all will be able to begin your travels.
Well, in that case, then perhaps we could use the rest of the day to examine this facility you mentioned earlier.
Sure, why not? Keep me posted when you find something.
Certainly. As such, I believe that will be our next destination for the day. Is everybody alright with that?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Aye, that's fun.
Jin,
So,
Rune,
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
cool. I want you to know, Xavier, I almost called you Phelan.
The past comes back to haunt.
Phelan to remember his name.
It's okay. It'll get extra confusing if we ever go to Southpaw.
You will.
Yeah,
Just
we're
gonna be
going
talk-
to Southpaw
you need to be
eventually.
talking to
That's gonna be
yourself
really
all the time.
confusing. Especially because we still didn't get a chance to actually ask Riven about the fucking wolf man.
He was there for 2 days.
Yeah, we just forgot. I mean, we were kind of caught up in other things, so.
I am going to take a short water break. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Wonderful. I'm gonna go for a restroom break.
I'm preparing thumbnails for future videos.
I'm gonna. It might be wise to turn me down for a little bit because I'm gonna swap my mic over to my actual headset mic instead of my stand mic
Mhm.
so that I can run and use the bathroom because I feel like I'm gonna shit myself. I'm gonna mute, but just so that if like
I was gonna say, I
I'm
hope, I
needed
hope.
for any, it's just so like if I'm needed for anything, I'm still there. Because if I
Yeah.
go without swapping my mic, I will try to unmute myself, and I will try to talk to y'all, and nothing will happen.
Mm,
So it's just a precaution. I shouldn't be too long.
gotcha. Every time we have like a little bit of downtime, like when I'm not doing anything, I'm making these little Warhammer figurines, and I'm on like my 4th model out of 10.
I thought about getting into the tabletop side of Warhammer, but I don't really know where to start with it.
Well, for me, it's just I love the figurines because they're so cool, and if you've never seen them actually up close, they're really detailed.
Oh, absolutely. That much I know for sure.
So that was my thing. So
That's why
Kate,
there's some people that just get off on getting the figurines and painting them.
that's basically what I'm doing. The tabletop's really complicated, like the actual game rules.
Right.
But luckily mine are easy because they're corn berserkers, which means you see that thing, punch it. That's their turn. But like for 20 of them. But Kate, because of my birthday, she was like, "Oh, I got you some like gifts," and I was like, "Oh, cool." Apparently, she went behind my back and talked to Elijah. Elijah told her that I really like Warhammer and I like corn, so she got the Berserker figurines, a bunch of paint, bunch of tools for it, and an Angron model, which is $170 fucking dollars. I almost cried when I saw that fucking thing.
I hate to break it to you, man, but I think she loves you.
Maybe. I had called Elijah afterwards because he had known, right?
No, did he laugh his ass off?
Oh, I was like, "Hey man, Kate got me something," and he fucked up his line where he goes, "Oh, what'd she get you? This?" And he would say what it was. He fucked up his line. And goes, "Oh, what is it?" I was like, "You know what it is. you you know." We also went to a Brazilian
You
steakhouse
already
called
know.
went to a Brazilian steakhouse called Fogo de Chao, where they go around to your table with like these big ass cuts of meat and be like, "Would you like garlic steak, filet mignon, bacon?" Like, just all the meats. It's really fancy and it was really nice. I don't eat there very often because it's also very expensive. That was like the most expensive birthday I had ever had. But this figurine's almost done. I just got his left shoulder pauldron and his backpack, but I might just leave him without the backpack.
If you're planning on selling the models for profit, then you might want to do that soon, because Games Workshop is in a heap load of trouble right now.
Well, for what now?
They took a deal with Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and Henry Cavill is supposed to star in it, and
Oh, yeah,
like their
that
new TV show.
Yeah, I heard about it. That's why he left The Witcher.
Yeah, and now Amazon is pushing for female custodials.
Oh, male custodies.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's
so
female ones now.
they're trying to push for female, and
There have always been female custodians.
the whole community is up in arms about it because you're essentially retconning like 30 years of history.
Yeah, and they do that shit with a lot of things. They did it with the Eldar, they did it with the Necrons. Like, it's a lot they changed.
I don't know what's going on, but Elijah bitches a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, he did. Well, the thing is, like,
I've heard about it in passing.
I personally do not care that there's female custodies because history-wise, in the lore, this is the lore master, right? Custodies were taken from when the emperor was during the Great Crusade, and he takes them from like his enemies. like the royal families and stuff, and then raise them to be his guardians. Right.
Sorry.
And
Carry
there's
on.
never like, of course, warriors from a rivaling clan doesn't have to just be a guy, which I get it. So it could be, a lot of art too of them is that they're wearing their masks. You don't know who they are. Granted, there's a bunch of name custodians, but like, you don't know. So it adds like they're kind of taking off the thing, like, well, there are females, like they're inclusive, but then they're gonna toss for the fucking female space marines, which is just the Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence. That's their work.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like, if you're gonna do that, then you just make them useless.
Why
It
don't
makes their whole
they-
lore useless.
Why don't they just rebrand them a little bit if they really want an entire dedication?
What do you mean?
I don't know if I hear Elijah talking about the female space marine faction or whatever that he talks about, right? I'm like, well, if they've always had them, why don't the company just kind of give them a little reboot?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing with it is the Sisters of Silence and the Sisters of Battle, they have always been there. The thing is, they're not augmented like Space Marines. So people say they're not Space Marines, but they're like halfway there, and then they stop. Because it's like, oh, woman's body's not built for because Space Marines have like tons of extra organs and shit.
Females have extra organs. What?
We're
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
2
You can't
hearts, 3 lungs.
Yeah, you can't put an extra one. That's one too many over the size limit. But that's basically like the whole thing with it. But for me, I don't care. I don't mind. There's actually there's like a lot of female characters in Warhammer, but a lot of them are just like not portrayed right.
I come back and just hear not portrayed right.
Talking about Warhammer stuff.
Ah,
Yeah, being turbo nerds.
Yeah, as you do.
as always.
I mean, we're playing D&D.
Exactly.
I got a buddy at work who, at this point, kind of feels like he's trying to force me into it. So he wants to do D&D, right? And he's GM. He's like, yeah, Sundays. Like, that works. And I was like, oh, I can't do it because I'm doing Sundays with my other group. And so his first group fell apart. And he's like, oh, we can do it Friday after work because me and him work the same days. With, like, a group of his friends and other people from work. And it's like, I think he said, like, maybe seven or eight people involved. Only for, like, a 2-hour session.
That's too large of a group.
Yeah. Because he's like, oh yeah, we got Trey, we got Nick, and this and that, and he's like, oh yeah, also like 4 of my friends, and I'm like, that's a lot of people.
What are we talking about?
My buddy at work's trying to get me into do D&D with him, but he's gonna have like a group of like 8 or 9 people.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's just a little much for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It'll take. How long are these sessions going to be?
Like 2 hours, and it'd be after work on
Bro,
Fridays.
you're not
Oh
gonna
my
be able
God.
to cover 2 hours with like 8 fucking. There's no fucking way.
Bro, it's going to
Yeah.
take 2 hours to get through one combat.
This is 2 hours to get through one dialogue.
Because everybody's going to want to say their piece. Yeah, that's terrible. That's a no-go for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, is everybody here? Everybody back?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rune's taking a
I'm
shit.
dead.
Can I go talk to Garg while Rune's using the bathroom?
Sure.
Okay, alright. I wanna go talk to Garg, and, at lunch, I'm like, hey, Garg.
You came back.
I did, but we gotta talk.
Oh?
So, you signed a piece of paper that will make you serve in the military for Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, when you did that, we have to go and you can't come with us.
He just kind of scratches his head and looks confused. Why no go?
Because you are required to serve here because you signed a piece of paper that says you had to. But I think it'll be okay. Because I want you to go to school so we can write letters to each other. So you can learn to read and write.
Garg's face lights up a little bit. Garg want write letter.
So, what I want you to do is, I want you to go to school. Here they'll help you with a little bit of extra education so that you can learn to read and write. And we can write to each other until you get out. And then we can for sure see each other again, and I'll try to visit.
He contemplates for a moment. Okay.
You have to do good though, okay?
Okay.
She's gonna get up and wrap herself like around him, in like a rope kind of way, and hug him.
He will hug back.
But we're about to have to leave here soon, and this sucks. This really sucks. But it'll be okay. And I'll send you some letters, and when you start learning to understand, you can read all about the adventures I'm gonna send you, okay?
Okay.
And you gotta keep them in a good place. We can't have bad people looking at them.
Garg no let bad people look.
Alright. And you let me know if they're not feeding you right, okay?
Okay.
And I'll be sure to give you gifts too of everywhere we go. I'm gonna make this man so smart, so strong.
Garg wait for you come back.
Alright, but you do a good job here, okay? You're already doing a good job. Keep going at it. I'm very proud of you.
He looks very happy as he just kind of nods up and down very vigorously.
Alright, I'm gonna leave him with more reaffirming words, and I'm gonna catch back up with the party.
I can't wait for when we come back and Garg's speaking in full sentences and it's like, man, what a dapper fellow.
Yeah. So,
Alright, either that or he
Actually,
files a
I go by
lawsuit.
Gregory now. Garg is my old name.
Actually, along with that, I'm gonna drop him 1,000 gold just so he can take extracurricular courses and be at the military, kind of using that into there. So, like, just to make him, like, extra, you know?
Okay.
So I'm gonna drop 1,000. That should be, like, a lot. So this boy better be some good education. Like...
Alright, you will just have to wait and see.
Alright. If I have to send more, I fucking will.
So, you guys reconvene once more. You guys are going to head out to that facility, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you all are marching along about to head out of the city when ahead of you approaches something very shiny, just kind of shambling towards you.
Very okay.
No, shambling.
Yes. Maybe we should stop and wait for it to approach.
Okay. Is that what you guys are gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stop and wait for this shiny thing to approach, and the closer it gets, the more clear the image is, and it happens to be the shape of a person. And they're not exactly shambling, more just awkwardly walking towards you guys.
Okay. Okay.
And the closer they get, the more, Alice, you begin to realize who it is.
Yeah.
As Hatham begins
Yep.
to walk up to all of you, absolutely blinged out in all sorts
Oh.
of fancy clothes.
Of course.
Ah,
I mean,
so
the
much for
man knew
being
his worth. He knew what he
inconspicuous.
wanted.
Well, howdy, everyone. Fancy meeting you all here.
Yes, fancy is certainly a word I would choose.
Oh, I see you noticed my new attire.
I don't take this man seriously. Oh my goodness.
Well, what do you think? And he's gonna kind of do like a little spin around.
Hot.
I'll say it's stifling laughter. It's certainly a choice.
What, you don't like it?
It's a touch gaudy.
Well, I mean, the tailor kind of got my pants a little too tight. Can't walk quite right in them, but I mean, these are the nicest clothes I've ever owned.
Your poor balls.
Yeah,
You juggle,
just-
Hatham?
I've dabbled, but I'm no circus performer.
Well, you gotta show me how you juggle your balls.
He'll just kind of put a hand out and just go. I think there's been a misunderstanding here.
Yes, there usually is when it comes to Jin.
This is a weird ass quote, man.
Jin, Rune and he were not referring to. You know what? No, I'm going to let you explain this, Hatham.
Huh?
Why is it my responsibility?
Well, you're the one having the misunderstanding here, and I've explained far too many things to poor Jin here.
No, I think this is my fault.
God.
Jit,
You guys don't
Well-
have
well,
to
by-
explain anything to her.
By
like-
all means, teach
Yes,
teach
do
the girl
inform
what
inform Jin here.
Jin, dude. Does your kind reproduce?
Yeah, I could split myself and my memories in half. I think we went over this with you guys before. One day I'm gonna
Really?
forget half of our adventures.
You went over it with myself and Lestrin, yes.
Rune's fucking speechless.
They
Right. Okay. The people here don't reproduce like that, and these balls that I'm speaking of, well, one definition, yes, is like the balls that you juggle.
Oh,
Another definition is a part of how a man reproduces.
so you could just remove your reproductive organs?
No.
no.
What?
Well,
Hmm.
technically you could, but only
No.
once.
It's also widely considered probably the most painful thing that one of y'all can experience.
Why does it hurt to reproduce?
Not
No, the
reproducing
removal
to,
of them.
to the removal of the organs. Jin, I
She is just more confused.
I can't do this right now,
Jin-
Jin. We'll tell you when you're older.
Jin, do you understand what what a euphemism is?
What does that taste like?
Alright, that answers that question. We'll buy you a dictionary, Jin.
Oh.
Until then, Hatham, I think perhaps it might be best to wear your old pants first. Until you can get better fitted ones.
But then it just throws the whole outfit off.
What does he look like? I think I missed that part.
He's fancy.
So he's just absolutely blinged out in all sorts of fancy clothes, but he's like blinged out fancy cowboy clothes, because that's the aesthetic he's used to.
Well, I
Think
will.
like
For bling
Doug Dimmadome.
cowboy.
I hate to put a bit of a damper on your mood there, Hatham. I would recommend changing entirely. For the time being.
Did you do this because you got a bunch of money from Byron?
As a matter of fact, yes, I did.
I'm sorry, but it looks stupid, Hatham.
Damn.
Yikes.
I liked the way you looked before.
He removes his hat from his head and puts it up against his chest, and he just kind of turns away.
Oh no!
No! Hatham, perhaps. Look, I recommended changing your clothes for the time being purely because we are currently on our way out to a facility to further investigate the goings on of the people who were at the center of the whole ordeal last week.
Well, you're
Runes-
telling me they're still kicking around?
Well, as far as we know, no. But we have located a facility of theirs that was connected to the cave that we had mentioned prior. The one that had the pipes in the walls and what have you.
Huh. Well, I guess since I am contracted to your boss now, I suppose I should tag along, huh?
Yes, that is what I was implying, which is why I was recommending changing it to your old clothing so that you I believe my mother typically referred to such things as your play outfit, so to speak.
Rune scratches her head and says under her breath, well, someone had to say it.
Nah, in the
No.
Lucretia, for being honest.
No, you didn't have to.
I'm sorry, Hatham. It's too much. It sticks out too much.
No, I understand. It's alright. Some people just don't have the same taste. But I think sticking out is rich coming from you, Rabbit.
Damn. That racist.
I mean, he does have a bit of a point, Rune.
Rune turns her head and very quickly whips it back. I don't have a choice in how I look. This is just how I am.
Well, regardless, Rune, perhaps a bit more tact in the future might be advisable. Hatham, I would appreciate it if you would not insult Rune based upon their physical appearance, which they cannot control.
He'll, kind of... I don't know how to describe the motion. He'll just kind of, like, hold his hands out away from him. I apologize. I lashed out.
I probably could have been a little bit less blunt.
Let me get changed and we can all go investigate this facility. And he'll shuffle awkwardly to a nearby alley.
Yeah, gonna say he's definitely got to shuffle. I'm sorry, Rune coming out right. Your poor balls. That caught me off guard so fast because I hadn't even considered that as a problem. I was just thinking about how like tight it would be on the thighs, so it's like harder to move your hips. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. His poor balls. His poor nuts. And then Jen over here, you juggle?
About a minute later, he comes back the previous outfit folded in his hands, and he's wearing his old attire now.
Okay. I hate them. If it makes you feel any better, perhaps after we've conducted our investigation. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of giggling. Perhaps after you're not helping. Perhaps after we finish our investigation, we might go about finding you an outfit that is perhaps less gaudy, but still a bit closer to your tastes.
I think I'd like that.
Wonderful. Let us be on our way then. And we'll go towards the facility.
Okay, so you guys travel out in the direction of where you were told the facility was, and you find a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees, but
So many trees. I miss
Ruin,
so
I would
many
like you to
trees.
roll a perception, please, as a child of the forest.
I'm still living about his poor balls.
Okay, you notice pretty readily that the trees that were planted here are not natural. They're weirdly spaced apart.
These trees here are hand planted.
Well then, it seems we are probably on the right track.
So, you guys continue to make your way, kind of scouting out the area, and Vulcan,
Yes.
you, of all people,
Mhm.
stumble upon it first, because as you're walking along the dirt and the grass, your iron foot steps on a strange patch of dirt that goes clunk.
Oh. Is it a mine?
No. Do you want it to be a mine? It is not a mine. You want to investigate what just went clunk under your
Yeah.
iron foot?
I would like to.
All right. So it doesn't take much effort, but you get on the ground and you start doing a bit of digging, and the soil loosens pretty readily, as it hasn't had much time to compact and settle. Um, you see a great big old hatch.
Oh. Does it look like it's heading? Or can I see the ground?
Well, the hatch is closed, so you can't really see
Ow.
much of anything right now,
That'll
but it
do
goes
it.
straight down, pretty much.
Hi. There's a deep hole down here.
Fancy.
Vulcan, that looks like a door.
Aye. An upside down door, but a door nonetheless. And he's gonna open
An
it.
upside down door.
One of them there horizontal doors.
Aye, he gets it.
What is going on here?
And Vulcan's gonna open the door.
Open the door.
Open the door.
Open the
Door.
door.
All right.
Oh,
you
is
guys.
Lahane traveling with us still?
Yes, Lahane is with you guys.
I'm sorry, I was just, we've hit the point in the session where it's just.
They are
losing
gonna
people.
learn. They're gonna learn very quickly how it is to travel with us.
Thinking like, oh no.
They're either gonna love it or they're gonna fucking hate it.
Yep.
Lahane has been very quietly and reservedly just observing you guys as she follows along. You guys go down this hatch for quite a while. So much so that Snake Eater starts playing. As you climb up the ladder. And eventually you find
Why is it
yourselves
so long?
you find yourselves Give me one moment. I actually had a map for this.
Oh,
Oh, fancy.
Being prepared.
boy, oh boy.
Womp.
Ooh, what the fuck is this?
You navigate. You end up in sort of like a common area, I suppose you could say. And you guys navigate a series of halls as you're going along, not really finding much of anything as the walls and tables that you see are bare. But eventually you come across a really large chamber, the one that you're currently in, and you see a whole array of very interesting looking technology in front of you.
Interesting. I'm gonna
I'm
start
waiting.
taking pictures of everything as we go.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's like every moment I get, I'm gonna be taking pictures.
Okay.
We're gonna need it.
The room itself isn't super well lit, but there is an ambient glow from some of the machinery around, enough so that you guys can navigate well enough.
Is there a way to maybe carbon date the walls just looking at them?
Right. I need to figure out my cosmic omen today. Give me a second.
You can try. Go ahead and roll a history augmented by an investigation.
How do I do that?
Just roll
Roll
both.
both.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
So-
sometimes there are things that I just
Oh,
deem
give me a
require
second.
two combined checks.
I got you.
Four,
Yikes.
what is it
Okay.
for?
So you see that a lot of the walls, it definitely looks like, man-made, hand-carved kind of stuff that this place was built into. You detect faint traces of magic along the walls as if it was carved out by magic. But you have no way of knowing how long ago this would have been. Not your forte.
But it is everything man-made, so
Yep.
all right.
Nothing about this cavern is natural.
I won't give it away. Maybe the buildings.
So you guys explore the buildings and you see there are some reservoirs that are completely dry at this point. And you'll see different, not housing, but more so just like rooms that once had tables where you imagine equipment would have been. There are some control and lever panels around the place, presumably controlling some of the things nearby. None of the things that you poke and prod at have any power going to them, though. Nothing works. Lesrin, with your vision as you're exploring, the aura of this place is super wacky. You sense that at one point in time there was a great deal of energy here, and you see bits and pieces of it remain in various spots, but it's all disjointed. Up until you get to the back of the room.
Alright. Gonna slowly walk my way to the back of the room.
When you approach, you see a large device with different pipes protruding from it. And as you get closer, you see that the circular, basin that this device is sitting above, it extends downward, and you see a reservoir of sorts.
Jacob, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
In any of my travels to any of other planets, may have seen any of this before? Or something
As a
similar
matter
of this sort?
of fact, you have.
Ah!
I see.
Alright.
cut you off. Perfectly cut. Ah!
Alright, let's see here, and if anything, I will add. I'm gonna use reaction on myself. I'm looking at my hand. I need to just. Fuck. 11.
Good job.
Would help if I had a different constellation, but you guys seem to really like this one, so we're gonna hold on to it for a minute.
Just so you know, there will not be any combat in here.
Wow. Okay. Oh, fuck. Shit. Then can I
I
change
said
my
this
start?
was going to
Okay.
be a non-combat session.
Yes, you can probably go ahead and pick a different.
All right. Give me a second. Let me look into here. Oh God. I'm like, there's so many. There's so many. I don't think anything of them has to do with any history stuff, so not really too much I can do, but I will probably take. Where is it? Not Sparrow. Not Night. Not Moon.
Should totally get different music in here. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna take the crown today.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. So does an 11 get me anywhere?
Okay. An 11 for history.
Yeah. For anything in my memory brain.
So with an 11, you remember seeing structures similar in design to this on a couple different planets that you have visited in the past.
I'm gonna start scrolling through my camera. Hey guys,
Yes.
Alright.
this is like not from this world.
Oh.
Like not where I'm necessarily from, but I've seen this before.
Uh,
Do
of
you know what
note,
it
then,
does?
Hold on. I'm listening, Jacob.
oh, okay. Of note, you observe that the technology displayed here is, even for Byron standards, a little advanced, especially when dealing with the kind of power source that they were siphoning here, aka the raw magic.
Okay. Is there like any engravings or like just anything, even signs? Like even if it's a sign to go down a street. That's all I'm asking.
Uh, Nothing like a sign going down a street. This isn't really a settlement.
Okay.
If you want to roll me a perception, please.
Alright, make sure nothing's added to my perception rolls. Nope, okay, cool. Perception. 24.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Start making a new language. Alien language. Like, that's like...
Start speaking Singhili.
You
Ah, blah, blah, blah.
you go to it's sort of the base of the control mechanism over here, which controls this big machine.
Mhm.
And you see a small inscription in your native language,
Okay.
and it says this. 1 second, I'm gonna DM you something.
Can everybody do me a favor and step behind me, please? Gricko, Lesren.
Sure.
Why should we be worried?
I don't know just yet. I'm making sure to take a picture of this too. Like, what am I saying? I'm taking pictures of everything.
Um,
Swear to God, Jacob, if you're going with my head canon that the world is alive and they're just harnessing this living creature, I'm going to lose my marbles.
Um,
Oh,
Emma,
fuck.
can you kindly send me
Uh-huh.
that translator that you used? Because I can't seem to find it again.
Are you talking about the Abyssal one?
Was it Abyssal
Yeah,
that
that's
you
a...
used?
Yeah, I use Abyssal translator for,
Okay, we can roll with that.
It's whatever, you're just DMing me into common what it translates to, so, like, it's fine.
You're right. I don't know. I wanted to give the original text as well.
Yeah.
Um,
We just need to create
but
some extra language or something.
right. It says that, which
No,
in
no, no.
common
Get down.
translates to this.
Oh, okay. Alright, what would be the meaning?
Uh, when translated into common, that word means something akin to administrator.
Hmm. Hey, didn't Byron say something about there being weird slimes, you know, in like around the place?
Something like that.
I
Alright.
believe he said something along the lines of it being in the odd forest, the shifting woods.
Jenna's going to touch the administration panel.
Well, when you touch it, nothing happens. The device appears to be inert now. However, you notice that this material, um, it's definitely a synthetic material that is familiar to you from your neck of the woods.
Hmm. Hey, Vulcan,
Yes.
do me a favor and take the panel off.
Vulcan is going to grip the panel and just try to rip it
While he's doing that, I'm gonna be scrolling through my camera real quick.
out.
Will I find anything of similar, like any wiring of how it may be, or circuitry?
I mean, you're about to see some
Um,
circuitry.
Well, from on my camera's feed from past
is that something
experiences.
you would have taken a picture of
I
in your
take
travels?
literally pictures of everything.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna be sitting here for a fucking minute.
you
I'm putting my 19 int to work right now.
Mm,
You're welcome.
using the big brain.
you come across a similar device in your camera feed. Um, the structure of it is different, however, it has the same idea of a reservoir with tubes coming out of it. And you have in front of you a series of wires and circuitry that you could possibly use as a reference.
Okay, give me a second. Core. I need to go look at what this spell does. Give me a second. I don't want it to be like a fucking attack, if I can even do it. Let's see.
What are we trying to do again?
Alright. I want to see for a main wire. And
Okay.
I'm not doing that. And I have this. And I have this. But this count as damaging things. The idea is lightning.
Are you trying to restart the machine?
I'm trying to power up to see what the administrative panel can tell me.
Okay. When you use call lightning,
It's either
you
chromatic
are
orb or call lightning. I don't know how they're gonna work in via damaging because that's not what I'm trying to do here.
oh,
So,
call lightning is a bit aggressive. I'll tell you that.
all right. So chromatic orb lightning will probably be better.
It's a bit aggressive, I'll tell
Yeah.
you.
Tad.
If you use chromatic orb, you are able to charge up the device for a few brief moments
Mhm.
that you may use to browse it if you wish.
I am browsing and my right hand's busy scrolling and doing things. Left hand, I'm taking pictures of this shit. All right.
So
What do I got on my home screen?
on your home screen, a great deal of it seems to be empty. However, there are a couple of folders still loose on the desktop.
Okay. I'm going to open up some of those folders. Vulcan, I need an extra hand here in opening up settings onto the sidebar.
All right.
They don't know what settings are. Oh shit.
Just gonna
You see
try to-
that gear? Click it.
he's gonna punch the button.
Jesus Christ. You don't have to punch it. No. All right, what are those folders got for me?
One of the folders contains a series of images, some of them lacking a bit of clarity. The camera fidelity isn't as good as yours.
Is there a
And
form of USB port?
not that you can see.
Fuck. Okay, alright, that's fine. I'm taking pictures of those. Anyway, even if they're not
Okay.
even good.
And in the other folder is a singular file.
Opening.
When you open the file, you see a series of coordinates.
Okay.
Not on any particular plane. They are spaced out in a particular way, but there's no map underlying them.
Well,
It's just a series of coordinates.
I'm gonna take those coordinates as well. Anything else before I go to settings?
Nothing is left before you go to settings.
Okay. Alright, is there anything within the settings functions that I could do to glean any more information about what is going on here? Any commands?
There is a diagnostics command that you can run.
Okay. That's gonna take way too long, though. I won't have enough
There
time.
is also a... what the fuck is it called?
Is there a systems information?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Like system info.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to look in that?
Yes, I do.
So when you look at system information, you're greeted by a very large list of different machine parts, including one of them being a processing chip.
Do I have a location for that?
The location of the processing chip is somewhere deeper inside the console.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else of note that I'm gonna need from here?
You see some old monitoring software, like measuring temps and things, and you also see a bit of software that would have been used to control the machine were it fully powered.
Okay. Alright, but all the hardware I'm gonna need is inside this thing. Alright. Okay, we're gonna system down.
Okay.
Vulcan,
Okay.
I I need you to take out every piece of this, but I need you to be very delicate.
Vulcan's gonna
Do
crack
you,
his finger.
do you want help?
I could use some limber hands in here.
Do not break the chip. It is going to be deep in there. I'll tell you what it looks like when we get there.
Jason, a quick question. What are these?
Go ahead,
Those?
Blake.
Transistors.
Uh,
Cool.
Vulcan is
Neither me
going
nor my
to.
character know what that means, so I'm just gonna stand on it.
Vulcan's gonna start taking the thing apart with Lezrin's help. KJ switching out his hand for a finer tool.
Lezrin, not Lezrin.
I hope to be,
Vulcan, I'm gonna have you perform some skill checks.
All right.
I hope we count as helping at this point.
Yep, you'll have the help action, so you can roll them an advantage. Roll a sleight of hand.
I can't offer assistance with that one.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I can't either. Hatham should be able to though.
Has it been a minute?
Yes, you can. You got about 15 more seconds.
No, I mean, has it been a minute since I've casted my reaction to his history?
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Okay.
So like what? 17 now?
Yeah, the system's been shut down. I shut it down, so we should be free enough to pull things out carefully right now. I think
All right.
that's all I'm making sure of. That he can get these pieces out that we need.
Well, I guess there's not really any other skill check that'd be useful here, so roll 2 more sleight of hands, please, at advantage.
Oh fuck! Make him roll Tinker's tools, man.
Go ahead and re-roll that second one.
I
Slightly
would
better, at
argue
least.
Tinker's tools, however, the typical Tinker's
Yeah, that
toolkit
is
isn't
true.
really equipped to handle a computer.
Yeah.
It's like a hammer.
Guys, Smith tool.
Jin is cringing the entire time watching him.
I think jewelry maker would have been better because it has like small tweezers and whatnot.
Well, I do have thieves tools as well.
No, that's just
No,
like
these
gold.
tools are lockpicks.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody here is a jewelry maker, though.
Nope.
No.
I have 0 tool proficiencies.
Mhm.
So
I
with
have
those
3.
rolls, you do manage to extract the processor from the machine. However, in the process, unfortunately, one of the pins is bent.
Oh no.
However, Jin,
Mhm.
you, in the past, would probably have had experience working with computer parts.
One
There
of
is
my
a chance for you
lives.
to save the pin.
Yeah. I need to go to Byron's place. Okay.
But you have extracted the processor.
Okay. What about the oh god, is that the main ship that I'm after in there too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just gonna sigh of relief for a minute. Okay.
Mm.
At some point I need to go visit Byron.
Hey, what
Jin,
is this thing
what
here?
in the hells is this place?
Hey, what is it?
It's space tech.
Base tech.
Yeah, I'm not from this planet.
But you know everything that's going on here?
Not entirely. But I have a couple of ideas of what's going on, but I can't be for sure until I get all this fixed up, and maybe I might be able to put my camera to other usages. And I
I'm
could
just gonna
use my
sit
star
here
map.
and smile and pretend like I know what's going on.
That's usually the best course of action when dealing with things that Jin does know about?
I'd take some worry into this because there could be a chance some other unknown race has been siphoning magic from this planet, but you know. Or maybe perhaps someone who may not be necessarily started out with a different race. But you never know, and it's mildly concerning.
Why?
That sounds very concerning.
Why siphon magic from a planet, though?
Harness some super weapon that could destroy a not a galaxy, a star system. Or to, enslave everybody on here.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Blaheen
Jen,
finally
what the
speaks
fuck
up.
are you?
If I may make a comment. I was I was under the impression that ours was the only world that was like this. I didn't know there were other places beyond. There are the plains, sure, but
Jenna's going to bounce around to Blahim and show her the camera and blow her mind and show her her own planet.
truly I'm at a loss for words.
Everybody in existential crisis to realize how small they are in this fucking universe.
I'm glad you said that. I would like everybody to make a sanity check, please.
Oh, fine.
Sanity check.
Do I have to?
Jin, you are the only
Um,
one exempt.
Oh, okay, that's a 4.
So-
That's not an advantage.
So, hey, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wait, this is a check, not a save.
If it's a 10, then it's not gonna have any modifiers to it.
There we go.
You guys are used to my bullshit. That's okay.
Huh.
Except for Vulcan.
They are.
Except
And
for
then Vulcan. There we go. That's a sanity one.
Allison's the only one that fails, of course.
Well, I suppose, to be fair, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that we'd be the only ones to exist amongst the planes.
Well, you think it's kind of weird if you really think about it. You guys only just now got the gods, so maybe they went to another planet or another plane just to go somewhere else. So this also could be involved with the god stuff too, if you think about it. But this is fairly new to me.
Alice is gonna go sit against the wall over here and put her face in her hands.
Alice, I'd like you to subtract 1 from your sanity score, please.
Yep.
It makes sense though. Why would the gods stop at making one planet? They could make multiple.
Yeah, but not many other planets worship gods, though.
But the gods, they shouldn't travel planets. That's what you call them, right? Planets?
Yeah.
They all have their own plane.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean to tell me that the planes exist elsewhere, not just here?
Probably. I would think more of planes as extra dimensional locations that you could probably go to, but that gets a little bit too complicated up here. And she's motioning to her brain.
So,
brains,
Jin,
plural.
Were there gods on your planet?
I don't know. A lot of my old memories are very fuzzy, and I was extracted on a spaceship, so, but I don't remember any real gods up there.
I see. It could be then that maybe whatever entity you speak of is here because we are unique.
Maybe. I don't really know. Alright. I need to put the processor in my fucking inventory real quick.
Hey Jin, I think you broke Alice over there.
Alice, it's okay. We all have meaning at least. Everybody's worth it.
Alice is not moving.
We may be tiny specks, but we make big differences.
Now, it must be a very smaller speck. Greco even smaller.
Did Grico roll a sanity?
Greco
Did.
passed.
Oh,
Yeah,
did?
Greco passed. You
Oh,
gotta
okay,
see.
okay. I was like,
The only person who failed was Alice, which,
Oh,
as I
Vulcan, was
said,
that to you?
Oh, that was a sanity save I did earlier.
Oh, okay.
which admittedly
Um,
makes
So where's Grico's
far
roll
too much
then?
sense.
Greco's is right beneath.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't change the game name, just yeah.
No, you're fine. I didn't. My eyes glazed over it.
right, because I have a cloak of protection, it gives me an automatic +1 to my sanity saves. Okay. I
Were
totally
you
forgot
wondering
it
why
did
you have a
that.
+1?
Yeah. Let me
man,
toggle off that cloak. Yep, there it goes.
only now is Alice taking me seriously on the space shit. Like,
I mean, to be fair, it's right here. It's right in front of her face. She
yeah.
can't deny it anymore.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Can't
One
deny
final
facts.
note before we end session that I wanted to touch upon with Lezerin, but Lezerin, when you got into the back of the room, you saw or it became I can't speak. I'm having a strong. It became more clear to you as you got closer. Running through this building almost directly is this very large, bright strand of what appears to be raw magic. And in that brief moment when you were transported, it looks the same as what you saw was attached to that woman.
Oh.
Mhm.
I'm gonna glance down at my shield. Mr. Falconhand.
So, you say his name and he appears kind of perched up atop this little thing here. Yes, Lezerin.
He's going to point at the source of the magic. Does that look familiar to you?
He looks down and back up at you. It appears you stumbled across what you all know as a ley line.
I see.
Yeah. Alice is having an existential crisis and a breakdown in the corner, and Lestern's talking to himself again.
These curs appear to be harvesting it for whatever nefarious purpose.
Have you ever seen a machine like this before?
No,
Hmm.
I wasn't aware anything could be made that looked like this, but... well... time has long since passed my existence. My
Oh.
conscience exists now only in this shield.
Hmm. Well, I'm trying to take good care of you. But, well, you know my history and you know my past. I've never seen anything like this before either.
It is worthwhile to note the ley lines. Think of them as the veins of the planet. They are the magical essence of the world. Should this essence vanish, there would be catastrophic consequences for everyone. But such a thing should never occur.
Hmm.
Because for such a thing to occur, then Mistra would be dead.
I see.
But then
Alright.
again,
From all this. I'll wait.
but then again, Mister would never allow such a thing to happen. I
Well,
wonder then what is happening in the greater world, the planes.
can't say for certain. Although,
Unfortunately, I am just as clueless as all of you.
well, I hope for your sake as well as mine that your god is okay.
He's going to kind of disapparate and go back to your shield.
Lizrin is just gonna place a hand on his shield and pat it a few times. Then turn around. It's a ley line.
Huh?
What's a ley line?
There's no lines.
Ley lines are, from my understanding, high concentrations of raw magic.
That's very cool, Lesrin, but I quite literally have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing here
A cool story.
Except
Didn't
this.
ask.
except this great big machine.
Right. There's a machine sitting on top of the ley line that's harvesting it for energy.
Quick question. So there's no water in there, right? Or is there?
It's at the bottom of this big, huge ass reservoir. There
Mhm.
are but a couple droplets of ley line energy.
Mm.
Otherwise, it is barren.
I'm sorry, let me make sure I understand this right. Is Lesrin the only one that can see the ley line?
Lesrin can see the main ley line in its entirety. You guys can see the formulations of the droplets that seep out of it. That is its physical manifestation.
I have spirit eyes.
Specialized.
The ley line itself is the very essence of magic, something that is, to the untrained eye, invisible.
Right.
Skilled mages are able to see it as well, as they draw directly from it when casting magic.
So if one of us were to cast a spell, would it feel more powerful here?
It would if you had the skills to draw from the ley line directly.
Mm. So full on wizard.
Not just any caster can go ahead and do that without suffering consequences.
Mm.
What do you think about all this, Grimbo?
Shit's fucked.
Grimbo. I love Grimbo so much.
Listen, I'm a long way from home. I was born in a hag's cabin.
What the fuck is space?
I wasn't ready for the raw delivery of the line.
I think
Shit,
shit
fuck.
fuck is like his new line. Put the shit on the shirt.
Thanks, Grimbo. Very insightful.
I just imagine Grimbo being that person who, if he could move, he'd be smoking a cigarette, being like, I don't know, man, shit's fucked.
I don't know, man. I'm just here because I gotta be.
Look, man, I'm just here to work. My shift's almost over.
Regardless,
Oh, God.
this machine is harvesting it.
Well,
Um,
it's not anymore. We've took out some very big pieces from this. I would like to, at some point, speak with Byron about what's going on, but I will not tell him how all of this gets put together, because I do not want to see this fall into the wrong hands, or good hands. I'd prefer it being in our hands.
In no hand.
All right. So, I am going to draw a session to a close with that. Comments, questions, concerns, starting with Karn.
Alice hasn't moved. She's still over here, face in her hands, contemplating the slow march of time and the vast, infinite existence of reality. She probably doesn't even know what's been said over here. She stopped paying attention after Jin literally just polluted her brain.
It's okay, Alice.
Anything else?
Poor Hatham. And his balls.
All right.
Dude, that shit like cracked me up so bad. But yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. Thoughts, questions, concerns, Xavier.
Good talk.
Good talk, great talk.
Sorry, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we know it's hard for you.
I would expect nothing
Fuck
less
off!
from a Pizza Tower 101%er.
Whoa.
No thoughts. Only tech.
Only Pizza Tower.
Yeah.
Only Pizza Tower.
Shit, I don't know. Just fucked.
I don't know, shit's fucked.
That's plagiarism, sure, sir.
I don't know what else to say.
Did I drop
Thank
too
you
much
very
on you guys
much.
this session?
I'm so fucking.
I feel like we're all still reeling from 3, 4,
Well-
5 weeks of fighting.
Well, and aside from, like, we found out that Chonkamus is cursed. Probably by some shithead
Yep.
student at the fucking college, let's be honest.
We found out that runes birds can understand common.
Yes, that is also a thing that happened. We decided where we're going next. And then you just drop alien tech on us. Like, I'm sorry, compared to
I mean-
everything else that's happened today, that's a bombshell.
Yeah. And my
I don't really know how to respond to that.
My tiny IRL brain cannot comprehend what is existing in this room.
Listen, it's
Especially not
fine.
after a day that I've spent in and out of sleep. Like,
Alright.
I've spent the entire day napping off and on.
That's fair. Thoughts, questions, concerns, Michael.
I really like my abilities, but also I feel like they're a curse. Also, I really like that you let me get away with purchasing those horseshoes for chonkers. I really wanted to do that this session.
Yeah, no problem.
I have nothing else really at the moment that I want to spend my money on. So, I'm sad about the rapier being gone. But at the same time, I understand. Lizard's trying to be better.
All that matters is he's trying.
He's trying. But with this particular last hour, I wasn't expecting to find alien tech, and I'm really interested to see its origin point.
Alright. Thoughts, questions, concerns, Brandon.
A lot of fun. Glad I got to actually do my shop and you'd be fine with it.
Oh yeah.
Made a little bit of money. We found aliens. Apparently, aliens don't have gods and shit. Just kind
Allegedly.
of allegedly. But I'm not so excited to meet the people who put this here.
Understandable.
I like to keep horrors within my comprehension.
Is that all?
And basically, I was just gonna say too that like you said, oh yeah, this is gonna have no combat after I just got done enchanting everything, like min maxing the fucking weapon and my fucking runes.
No, it's fine. You guys will be in travel next session, which unfortunately won't happen until the week after next because of Mother's Day.
Almost there.
Jacob, at some point I need to do the exchange between Arno and Aveni.
Sure, whenever you want to do that, just message in the SG chat.
Okay.
Obviously, it won't be tonight, but I will do my best to
Right,
respond
right.
throughout the work week.
No, for sure. And I'm not, like, chomping at the bit to get it, especially if we have 2 weeks until next session or whatever.
No, we have session. Oh yeah, it is 2 weeks. Yeah, because that
Because
session
Mother's
after
Day is next weekend, right?
Yeah, it is. My days are mixed up. Um, the session after Mother's Day originally was supposed to be canceled as well, but it is no longer canceled. Because we'll have everybody here.
I hope, but it should be fine. Yeah, everything should be fine.
Fingers and wieners crossed, man.
Oh, also Jacob. At first, I didn't really like the idea of Mr. Falconhand, but now I really do, because he's a secondary source that I can pull information from if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really interested to see how his story plays out too, if he does have one.
He does. It's more of a side story, but
Yeah.
thoughts, questions, concerns. Last but not least, Jin.
So, let me just say once again, I love She-Ra fantasy sci-fi crossovers. That shit's like my fucking jam. Like,
Mm-hmm.
holy shit. Um, Next, I think I voiced many of my concerns that also I'm worried that I don't want to like create lore on you when you possibly have your own type of lore and being Jen from a different planet. I'm trying to keep her stuff spaced out enough of like, especially using her like intelligence and history and the fact that she can only get like half the memories passed on generation wise when doing
Mm-hmm.
things. So I'm trying not to like dump lore that may not even exist. So I'm trying to keep it generally spaced out, but instead having her more like jumping to conclusions and thinking this could be this based on fake past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
No, I understand, and I'm trying to keep it a bit more low key as well because obviously this isn't meant to be a super sci-fi setting.
mm-hmm.
Um, this is more so just one of the facets of the
Yeah,
adventure you guys are going to have.
yeah. It's like we've got everybody's little side plot, and anything space related wise is clearly Jen's side of things. When we'll
Mm-hmm.
have anything like Fae stuff is clearly like runes, or it could be possibly, I don't know where Lesrin's from, but I'm assuming Fae stuff might be also his. Maybe more like dark stuff is Lesrin's.
More on spirit related stuff.
Yeah, so
Um and metaphysical.
yeah, and then like things that revolve around like wealthy class stuff or stuff like that would be like, Alice say, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And Vulcan, he's a hodgepodge of different stuff, so that's how
Well,
I like to see it.
Vulcan had a side RP as well that he didn't really talk about. Um, he's got his sort of calling on him as well.
Yeah. So it's like we all have our own stuff here. So I'm like trying not to like create extra lore than what needs to be out there, but it's like just this idea that there are other planets out there, and whether or not the gods went to those planets or went to different types of universes, because that's how I tend to see the more of the material planes as different universes, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the same idea that D&D would have depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I have my own explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
That I have written in. Um, it's not something that will necessarily be covered anytime soon, so you guys are just gonna have to like hold on to this in the back of your minds.
Mm-hmm.
But you will get explanations about certain things and how they work.
I'm going.
We just have to get there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sit with Byron and maybe we can use all this shit because my camera is clearly going to be the only thing that can display what we need from that processor. That is the closest we're going to get. So we're going to be playing Doom on a camera. So that is what
It can happen.
yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing here at this point. I mean, I assume my camera's not some fucking like, digital camera because this is like advanced space tech.
Caught in
So
4K.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I imagine it's like a smartphone but just only camera app.
Pretty much.
So, and I think I don't remember if we said that. I don't know if my star map would technically be considered along with my camera like an extension, or if I could use my star map as what I can do with the processor too. So that is an option. So I have to talk to Byron about it, but Byron cannot keep it because if we attach it to either one of those devices, I have to keep those on me, especially if it's my star map.
Hmm.
So I have to work that out, and it's gonna be easier if I do it in a session rather than doing DMs.
Yep. We can. I have something in mind for that already. Um, I'm not going to give you any clues as to what that is. It's going to be something that I want you to trial and error.
Yeah. I mean, I still gotta do. I haven't been doing my roles for the other thing that I was looking for. Also,
Understandably, we've been a bit predisposed the last
ah,
3 sessions.
I need to do those, and it's like there's so many other things going on that it's like it's hard for Jen and myself to keep up with. So, because I need to go see what's going on with that, and get. Fuck, I don't remember if they give me coordinates or not on that thing or not too. And then I have to go to the coordinates
It
that are on
was
her.
you were working to try and discern what the coordinates were.
Yeah, so I've got 2 sets of coordinates from here and from there, and then I'm gonna have to probably use my star map also, and I'm gonna need a world map, and if those are coordinate locations.
Mhm.
So,
Like I said, it'll be a trial and error thing.
and honestly, Byron or Tim would be the smartest ones to figure it out, but Tim might not be as much because he's not tech savvy, he's magic savvy with his intelligence.
Hmm.
And also, Tim is degrading.
That is true. So's your wife.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Mm,
I'm also kind of like headcanoning Baller doesn't polymorph much anymore, just so she can have some reserves as she's entering Twilight.
Hmm.
So, but I think Byron's gonna have to be the best place to go for that one. Even though Tim has the intelligence that surpasses knowing that we are in a D&D game and that he is in fact a PC.
Yeah. Why do I
Tim
think
is
he's nervous all the
self-aware.
time?
What?
Tim is self-aware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his intelligence is like really high.
His intelligence is on
36.
par with the gods.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He has 36 intelligence.
Thanks. I can't remember his name.
Feaster.
Rusty.
Prestige, that's what I was trying to say. I was gonna call him Mariner. I was like, that's not the right word.
All right. I'm glad you guys enjoyed session. At least I hope you did.
Mhm.
Hopefully this little chill session of things gives you stuff to look forward to. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
I'm going to close session.
Alright, I'm gonna stop streaming.